You're listening to FUBAR Weekly on KDSR, Demo Spin Radio, brought to you by ARC Network Live 365, the station where everyone deserves to be heard. The following program contains strong language and adult content. Listener discretion is advised. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Thank you for that, Mr. Pillow. Whoa, I still haven't bought new mic wires, and this sound like cheeseburger, large fries, motherfucker. There we go. All right, that's better. Please send us your money, people. We need to buy new equipment. FUBAR Weekly Show. Today is Tuesday, the 11th of February, 2020. We're almost halfway through fucking February. Time is flying. This year's going by really quick. Seated to my right side, seated at the right side of the father is Nicole. Say
Hello.
hi, Nicole.
Hello.
And seated directly across from me is the lovely, the talented, the beautiful, the handsome, except for that picture you posted earlier, Patrick Welsh, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's fun? I did almost the same picture a while back, but I shaved the right half of my head and the left side of my face.
Oh, there you go.
So I did that. I wanted to do. You ever see a monkey tail beard? You go, they'll shave, but go down, up, and around. So they'll shave around, so it looks like a monkey tail hanging off their face.
Ew.
And where this is just done here with normal people? Or?
Well, I mean, to define normal, none of us are fucking normal. You know that. I rendered him speechless. Holy shit.
I always thought I was like normal. You know what I'm saying? And I thought everybody else was abnormal. But now as I'm getting older, I feel like I'm actually the abnormal one because
No, you're not.
But the masses are so like I'm not part of
the only time you're abnormal is when you're doing something, I would say that endangers other people or puts other people off. If you're just doing your fucking thing, you're not abnormal. You're fucking normal. Normal is normal to you.
But people, so I kind of drive like an asshole.
No.
Yeah, so I run red lights, I speed, I do things that are illegal, but I've never caused an accident because I know how to actually control my vehicle.
Okay.
But to the average person, they would see it like, did you live around here? How many left turn signals are you sitting at where it's red and you look across the way, there's no cars going straight, and you just sit there. You're literally just sitting there.
Tons. All the time.
So a lot of these, instead of sitting at the left turn signal, I will drive in the straight lane past the people waiting to turn left and then just turn left in front of them and continue on down the road.
So you're the one.
Yeah, well, I do it often and I safely do it, and people honk and like, now you can do it too. Like
now I will say that there have been plenty of times where I've done that. You know, and of course, when there's no traffic coming, you're not causing an obstruction. You're not causing any harm to anybody. I get that, but that's not what I mean by. I mean, like if you're just doing crazy shit, that you would consider abnormal, like just running up and down the fucking street in front of the fucking kids waiting on the bus, waving your dick around. That abnormal.
But that's not causing any harm to anybody.
Little kids don't want to see his dick.
Okay.
I'm pretty
How
sure
do you
grown
know?
people don't.
Have you
I'm just
taken
taking a guess.
Have you
man.
taken
I'm just
a poll?
guess. I have not taken a poll about your poll. All right.
He's at the button. No, I'm asking about somebody else's penis, sir.
Can you identify the tallywhacker?
So did you guys see the resource officer or whatever that threatened to shoot the kid for leaving the school?
Yeah, so
that was my daughter's school.
No shit.
Yeah, River Ridge. They go there, and I didn't even want to watch the video because I just don't care anymore about a lot of things.
Yeah,
but isn't that insane that he would even think that I'm going to shoot you for leaving the school grounds?
Now there's two ways. Okay, the kid was advancing the vehicle, but You know what? They should have just let the fucking kid go.
Exactly.
And fucking give him
Move out of the
detention.
way. Like you're gonna shoot him. For leaving school. Like
Yeah, that was a little fucking extreme. They should just let the fucking kid go. You know who the kid is. It's not like it was ambiguous or like who is that? They knew who the fucking kid was. Let him leave and give him fucking detention. Or suspend him. Whatever.
I got kicked out of that school.
Here's my shock face.
So I not going there as a student. My son, the bell rang at the end of the day, and he got up to leave because that's what the bell's for, right?
Yeah.
And he started to leave, and the teacher said, "You can't leave yet because I didn't dismiss you." And my son said, "Well, school's over." And she said, "Well, I haven't dismissed you yet." And he said, "The bell rang." And she said, "No, I'm the one that decides." And that's what he asked her. So what's the bell for then? And so he told the class, he turned around, he goes, "I don't know why you guys are all sitting there. Like, school's over. Let's go." So he got in trouble. They actually said he was inciting a riot.
Nice.
But what was funny is they used the wrong verb. They didn't use incite. They used something else. It didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Did you correct them? Did you look up the right
no,
word and be
I
like,
can't-
look, you fucking educators?
Well, I knew insight was the right word, but I couldn't remember to actually, I can't remember what the word was. So anyways, I had to go in and pick him up because he got in trouble.
Okay.
So as I was talking to the principal, just the stuff she said, it bothered me. So I told her, I said, "You don't own him." You know what I'm saying? And I said, "You'd think that these are your little slaves and you don't own them."
See,
Like,
now to me, especially in a public school, like I absolutely agree with your son. That fucking bell rings. I'm no longer on your time. It's now my time. And I'm a fucking dick like this. Like, you know, this morning I kind of cut her a break because I'm helping her out. But my son's band teacher, very nice lady, really cares about the kids. I mean, she's
what
really
instrument does he play?
the skin flute. I mean, the saxophone.
Okay.
It's saxophone. But like one day they had rehearsal and I had shit I have to do. Like I work 24 hours a day. So like a lot of times I got to pick them up after band practice and I have to go do shit, meet somebody or anything. And, you know, practice dragged on an extra fucking half hour. I was like, that's my fucking time. Like, you know, she should be apologizing for keeping you fucking kids there. I'm like, I'm a petty dick like that though.
Well, it's just weird though. This is what the principal actually told me, that there is a law basically, and we consent to it. Once you drop your kids off on the school grounds, basically they're kind of in charge of them. That's why that cop thinks, or a resource officer thinks, he has the right to actually shoot him, because they think they kind of own them. But I started raising my voice. She called in the resource officer. I can't remember what was said, but they basically kicked me out and made me leave. My son got suspended for a couple of days for inciting a riot, for just trying to go home. But here's what's funny. Nowadays, my daughters, two of them go there. They're in middle school and high school, 7th and 9th grade.
Okay.
And they have recordings of people fighting after school, like just right there in the area, like right by the buses. And I'm like, where's the resource officer during that time? You know what I'm saying?
Too busy threatening to shoot the kid that's fucking leaving,
just trying to leave.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Like she goes, "Look at this," and they're two girls like pulling each other's hair, and
my son's I hate this fucking wire. My son's middle school. You could actually go on YouTube and look up fucking videos of fights at the school. It's like it's out there. It was a shitty middle school. I mean, a couple of the teachers were really good, but in general, like we referred to most of the. He was in a special program, a science program. We referred to the rest of the school as general population because it was like a fucking prison, like legit like a fucking prison.
Well, the schools are like prisons nowadays. I went to school to be a teacher, man. Like I actually went to college. I'm like 10 credit hours short of having my bachelor's.
Fucking finish it, dude. You'd be a great teacher.
No,
I think you would make a good teacher.
Well, here's
what subject were you going to teach though?
Well, I played sports, so of course I was going to teach phys ed.
Fucking gym teacher, hell yeah, man. We'll get you those fucking shorty shorts.
I liked history growing up. You know what I'm saying? But oh yeah, the old bike shorts. I remember that.
The 70s style that you got to make sure.
Yeah,
you
my dad
shave before you put them
still
on.
had those in the 80s.
Yeah,
probably like the short. Yeah,
they
were
cute
still
running shorts that are shorter on the sides.
Yeah, but those were still popular. Like I remember fucking teachers wearing those in the 80s, and they touched me. But you know, it's beside the point.
I feel like by the time I was in school, they were wearing basketball shorts already.
Yeah, well, you're like fucking 12. I mean, come on.
What do you mean by basketball shorts?
Like
not the shorty running shorts.
Like just like the mesh ones.
Well, the Fab Five at
No, it's
Michigan
basically-
brought in, so they said, F you, John. Can't even think of your name. Stockton. Mr. Short Shorts. I just picture him. Whenever I think of the Short Shorts, I think of John Stockton for some reason. But when the Fab Five came in, all those Michigan players, Chris Webber's probably somebody you may know his name. No? Okay, then you wouldn't know any of the other ones.
Yeah, no.
But these 5 freshmen came in the University of Michigan, and they were like all top recruits, and they all went to the same school, and they made the finals, right? Their freshman year, I think
so.
But they came in and they were wearing big baggy shorts, and they brought like the hip hop swagger that you see that's just basketball nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They started the current
changed-
fashion trend.
Yeah, they
Okay, I gotcha.
changed they were called the Fab Five, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Fat Five Freddy.
But yeah, they're the ones that started wearing like the big baggy pants and all that stuff. And
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Patrick, I'll have you know my mother called you a typical Florida driver.
Yeah. You are.
typical
You are.
Florida driver.
Yeah.
He's
The
not,
typical Florida driver, the reason why I have to drive like that. They're the ones that sit at red lights and they're staring to the left.
See, what I will say is he's not a typical Florida driver in that he can see over the steering wheel and he doesn't have that much gray hair yet.
I do. Basically,
No, you're not that bad yet. You're getting there, but you're not.
what's
that
weird is I went and looked up the show, and I didn't even know that there was a YouTube clip of our last show, which I noticed that most of your shows were like an hour 20, hour 30, and ours was like 3 hours and 25
I think that
minutes.
was before we started like
That-
making
no,
it actually 2 hours.
No, the very first time we broadcast on doing the video with the video feed was you.
Oh, really?
You were the very first one.
Yeah, we went for like 325 was how
Yeah.
long it was, but it was interesting. I really didn't have a beard then, and I had shorter hair. And if you see me, I'd really usually have a beard. Like it's odd. Like that.
You look good, clean. You look younger. You look younger, clean shaven.
I'm well aware, but then I could see my fatness in my face a little bit more, like the beard covers. You know what I'm saying?
I used to have a goatee just to hide my double chin. So I got you.
Yeah, totally. It's like the people that grow the really big beards to hide their really small penis. You know,
That's what I'm doing wrong. I need to grow a long beard.
dude. I saw an advertisement for I don't even know what it was, but a guy had a beard like down to his balls basically, and he put some lotion on it, rolled it around, and put it up underneath to make it look like he just has this small beard, and you don't know he has a gigantic.
Yeah, the rest of the he made a bun.
Like
Basically,
a chin bun.
It was
Chin
weird
bun.
though. It wasn't a big. It didn't stick out to where it was like, "Hey, make fun of me." It was like underneath there, you couldn't see it. You know.
Okay.
I don't even know why I brought up the whole whatever.
This show is all about random, man. We just fucking go
Oh,
on
I'm aware.
tangents and shit.
I gotta remind you. I already answered the 20 questions, so
Yeah,
you
we're not
may
gonna do
have to do something a little bit
Yeah, we're not
differently. Oh, I don't even know what it. I can't even remember. But yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever. It was something about my face, I think, and my hair and whatnot. But dude, I hate shaving. For real, man. I hate.
I'm right there with you. Know what it is? It's like time. Like me having to shave is like I don't feel like wasting that time shaving.
You just don't just do it in the shower or
Well,
something?
When my head's completely shaven, yes. But I've been fucking lazy and haven't been cutting my hair, haven't been shaving my face regular. I mean, a little stubbly now.
I went
Does it make a difference if you do it more regularly?
all the way.
No. Well,
Okay.
yeah, it takes less time. Like if it's already short, you just gotta like if I tried to run the razor, like a regular razor of my face right now,
Yeah.
it would take forever. I'd be having to like do it in little patch because it's too long. It clogs the razor up real quick.
It's not a problem I have.
You could buy
I know.
more expensive razors.
Is that possible? I mean, do
Yeah.
they get more expensive? Holy shit!
I don't know what we'd like to save money, and there was this place. It was called Helping Hands. It was like a ministry for like poor people, basically.
Yeah.
But we used to go there. They would have like diapers and different things where like maybe the box was damaged or something.
Okay.
And so they would have diapers really cheap. So we would go there to buy diapers for our kids because
Yeah,
they're expensive, man.
save money's making money.
Well, they just had random weird different things. And one time they had the replacement Bic replacement
Yeah,
for like, dude, like $1 for like 6 or 8 of them.
Damn.
Which I don't even know what those would be in the store. So I still have multiple packets at home, and I bought those 8 years ago, probably. Like,
damn.
Yeah, when I see stuff like that, the one like stock up on it. Like at that place, they had the micro or not microwave, your dishwasher, the
pods.
that you put
Yeah.
in, and they had them there, and it was like a tenth of the price that you pay at the store. So I bought enough that we didn't have to go buy replacements. I think it was like 5 years.
Seriously?
Yeah, I would like go totally stock up on stuff like. You save money, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to use it, so why not?
Well, saving money, making money. So,
dude, I still got a big brick of cocaine I bought in the '90s. Like
that's back when it was good shit.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. People talk about the Molly nowadays. I'm like, are you really? That I actually looked it up because I was like, I'm going to be racist, everybody, even though it's not racist, it's reality. When I found out that ecstasy, Molly, had reached the hip hop world, I was like, there ain't no fucking way. Because honestly, I have a lot of friends that are black, and people can say this is wrong, but they're not doing hallucinogens like crazy white people, I don't think. Could be wrong.
I feel like most of like the Molly is more with like the young raver kids.
Yeah, and that's
what he was back in the day.
Yeah, so I was like, there's no way that because they're rapping about it. They're rapping about Molly and all this stuff, and
man,
like, there's
how
just
times have changed.
No way that it's real shit. So I looked it up, and cops tested it down in Miami. They were testing all these busts, and the majority of it has like crystal meth and just like miscellaneous, just a whole conglomerate.
Well, they just cut it with crap.
Yeah, horrible.
Drugs, just say no.
Just say no.
When we got ecstasy, it was either dirty or clean or whatever. And the dirty had more heroin. It was brown, and the other stuff had cocaine, and it was white mixed with the MDMA. Like supposedly,
those were the days. Those were the days.
It was fun, but I don't know. Did you party like a lot?
Back in the 90s, yeah.
Did you have a?
If any of my family members are listening, I did not do any.
No,
drugs.
I don't do drugs.
More than once a day.
Drugs.
I think my mom, she doesn't know the full extent. If anybody knew the full extent of my life, they would be, I think, shocked. Like,
or they wouldn't be shocked.
No, I think they'd really be shocked, man, because I've lived. Like I said, I'm not sitting at home playing video games. Like, yes, I am making fun of you if you're playing video games. And you're 30 or 40 years old.
Well, hang on. I got to kind of defend that slightly because I'm not a video game guy. But the other day, I actually spent money for the first time, probably since I was in college, and bought a video game. I paid money for a video game.
Egads, what was it?
Well, it was only $5.
It's probably one of those porno games.
No. It was Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh,
it was a classic that came out in the 90s. It's available on Steam. So I got that so I could just kill Nazis all night. It's fun. It's the first person shooter.
Well, hopefully killing Nazis will become truly legal, right?
We got to find the Nazis.
We got to get rid of them. What do you mean find them? They're everywhere.
They are?
You didn't know that?
No.
That's sorry.
My limited viewing of the news and what people say, the Nazis are everywhere. I thought
I did buy tiki torches a couple weeks ago. So
I invested in them. So
you white supremacist.
I just like fire.
True.
Don't
buy cheap ones though. Don't buy the garbage ones because
they
fucking go on fire.
I've spent like $13 on them each.
On a tiki torch?
Yeah.
So does the tip burn?
No, it's like
or was it just a?
It's like a jar with fluid inside, and then it's got a rope.
There's a metal can,
but there's a little bit of a string or something, right?
Yeah, it's like a rope.
So does that ever fully burn out?
Yeah,
like
it'll consume. Like there's like the wick on a candle.
You have to like
eventually consume.
Pull it up a little bit every couple of times.
So I'm wondering like how long
It's like about this.
It's been a while since I've been to Klan rallies. So
so think of it's a can. It's a metal can.
Oh, I'm aware of what they look like. I'm just wondering though, how long would the
normal wick goes? It'll stick out from the top, and then it'll come down. There'll usually be a little extra in there. So
I've burned mine for
burn out
at least probably about 4 to 6 hours already, and there's still a substantial amount left.
It takes a long time to consume because it's mostly burning the citronella oil. That's what it's actually burning, but the wick will consume.
Doesn't that stuff supposedly a mosquito repellent?
Yes,
supposedly.
Because
I love the spray down here. fucking poison your
No,
neighborhood.
well, okay. So the thing about citronella is that it comes from oranges and other citrus fruit, and it's not that it repels the bugs, it's that it makes the bugs like smell blind. Like they're not attracted to it because they don't smell anything.
Okay, so like when you go to a farm and you first get there and it smells like bullshit, and then after a while it doesn't smell like bullshit anymore. It's like the same thing talking to my wife. I stop hearing the bullshit, but I guess it's the same thing. It stops making the mosquitoes smell you.
You do adapt to your. It's not a joke what you said. Like you could literally not hear things. Have you ever lived by a train track?
Yeah, you start like forgetting about it.
Dude,
or not.
We moved to the state of Washington.
Well,
and a train track was right by our apartment, and my son had never seen a train before, and he was like 2 something. First night a train comes through like 2 o'clock in the morning, he loses his mind. He runs in our room, starts jumping up and down, choo choo train, going crazy. Anytime a train went by for like the first like maybe month, he like went insane, lost his mind. And then after a couple months, I was like, "Hey, train," and he's like, "Yeah, train, whatever."
Yeah,
like,
we get used to it.
You don't even hear it, nothing. Yeah. Like it's, that's why the hoarders can be surrounded by all that, and it
doesn't bother them because they're used to it. Just like as you're sitting there looking at me, you realize you can see your nose, right?
A little bit.
No, you can actually see your nose. You can see a lot of your nose. Your brain just blocks it out.
Now I'm never going to not see it again until for the next half hour.
And once we stop talking about it, you're going to go back to not seeing it.
I know.
But you see, when you look out, you see your fucking nose. You can see your nose pretty fucking clear if you're paying attention to it.
I always see
your brain just shuts it off.
I see the perimeter of my glasses, but I ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's almost like, remember when you first got a check and you saw the taxes taken out? And you were like,
the fuck?
And it was kind of like the choo-choo train moment with my son. He's like, choo-choo train. And then
motherfucking
after a while, he was just kind of like, and you're the same way, taxes. It's right there. Yeah. You can see it, but somehow
it's there. It just you just don't notice it anymore.
From here on forth, can we refer to the moment when you become desensitized to the choo-choo moment, the choo-choo train moment?
Choo-choo train moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hereby dub the choo-choo train moment.
Then other people will be like, dude, nah, man. They're talking about like running the train.
That's a little bit of a different train.
Exactly.
Hopefully your son wasn't seeing that at 5 years old.
No, dude, I saw pornography for the first time at the age of 4.
I was probably.
How do you remember that?
Because that's when I first started jacking. I mean, come on.
Let's see. It's pretty traumatizing, or not traumatizing, but to see. Like I looked at it curiously. You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking at all these pictures, like. And seeing it wasn't Playboy either. It was more of the dirtier ones. So you saw like inside the vagina and
swank.
Yeah, it was weird. But at 4 years old, and I remember my dad caught me and he yelled at me and he's like, "What are you doing looking at these pictures?" And I was like, "Dad, I'm 4. I can't read the articles." Material, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing looking at these pictures? What are you doing looking at these pictures? Dad, I got it from you.
It's the truth though, man. I remember stumbling upon them and seeing them in just like this off room. We had a cousin's house we went to for Thanksgiving, and the older dad had just magazines just in a room. And I remember being young and like just looking at that shit. Like,
see, now as a kid, we would go to my uncle lived fairly close to us. So like the big holiday weekends, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Independence Day, we would spend.
Where'd you grow up again? In New York.
In
right?
New York, on Long Island.
Like on Long Island?
Yes, okay. Long Guy land. So we would go, like one day we'd be at my uncle's house and then the next day they'd all come over to our house. But in my uncle's basement, he had, and I have one of them unassembled, the old Playboy puzzles, the centerfold puzzles. But he had them completed hanging up on the wall in the basement. So as kids, we would be down in the basement playing, and there were these, posters of naked women. And like, we didn't really think anything of it. It was like, we pointed it and laughed, boobies. But it wasn't like it, that also wasn't porn.
Normally you'd use like glue or a varnish for the puzzle things, but he just splurged all over.
Probably. It stayed up on the wall. So, I mean, I don't know how he did it. But I remember getting in trouble. My father found a porn mag, and legitimately, we were walking through the woods, and I found it in the woods. And then when he asked me where I got it, I said, I found it in the fucking woods, and he didn't believe me. So I got my ass beat for lying, and I wasn't fucking lying. Like I found it in the fucking woods, man. It was a good one too.
I've contemplated that. I've asked a few crowds, but a lot of these crowds are younger, so they're not knowing about woods porn. But everybody I know our age, like you're what, 40, 30?
I'm gonna be 42 soon.
Yeah, so I'll be 43 in a couple weeks. Do you know about this? Like you would find porn magazines just in the woods. Now I tried to figure out like how did they get there? Was it like teenagers hiding them out there? Was it our dads and uncles hiding them out there because they couldn't have them in the house? Was it like Larry Flint and
Like
Hugh Hefner
dropping them?
Yeah, like
propaganda.
we're gonna
in a
get
war
them
zone.
hooked on it, and they're like dropping them in woods.
No,
like,
I'm pretty sure it was like, kids found it in their dad's nightstand, so they went to the woods to fucking look at it.
but it was weird. It became
But
like
did they jack it in the woods?
Well,
What do you think, Nicole?
They probably jacked it in the
They
woods.
probably jacked it in the woods.
it became a community like
Yeah,
magazine.
but I brought it
Community
home.
magazine.
I brought it home, and I got actually the name of the magazine was Cherry. That was the name of the magazine.
Some poor soul was pissed at you for taking his magazine.
Possibly
But it was across the country. It seems like
the porn fairies. That's what your mom says.
yeah.
Hey, Lila Bell.
My wife didn't. When my son was really young, she didn't want him to go in the woods, and she was worried about the woods.
The woods porn.
She said the woods people.
Okay.
Yeah, and I said you should be more worried about people with wood.
Yeah,
woods,
that's
like,
true. That is true.
But even that, this is all true. She actually called him. I called him the woods people because that's what she kind of acted like she was worried about. But I go, do you think they're just waiting out there?
Like waiting for a little
just
kid
waiting
to come
for-
by to.
I feel like when
Well,
I was a
kids
child,
shouldn't-
like the major concern was like somebody's going to steal you. Like somebody's going to steal you. Somebody's going to steal children. Somebody's going to take you. Somebody's going to.
Well,
Well,
they still do that
yeah.
nowadays. But
I
don't
know,
if
but it was
it's a-
just I don't know. Is it like that big of a threat? I never got.
You know what I'm
stolen.
worried, and this is. Do you remember the aerosol spray? Worrying about that?
No.
Do you know about that? Like
Well,
depleting the ozone layer from like the
fluorocarbons.
80s.
Yeah, CFCs.
So I said like when we were younger, there was news, and it wasn't 24 hours. It was the nightly news.
Yep.
And it was for like an hour, and then if you included 60 minutes or whatever, maybe it was 2 hours. Like it really wasn't a long.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing that about the aerosol spray, like the hairspray or like Lysol, that it was bad and it was going to harm the ozone layer. And I barely heard that. And I would see that and kind of be like, oh, that's bad. You know what I'm saying?
I
I actually thought it was bad.
I distinctly remember when a lot of like hair product companies and stuff like that, they started whatever the chemical was, they were like, free of CFCs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So seeing that as a kid and just barely hearing this stuff, I would have that reaction like, oh my gosh. So think nowadays I've heard stories about the Greta Thunberg, whatever, that kids in schools have watched her freaking out, and it makes them freak out, and they're having like nightmares and like horrible things. And I said, I actually understand
parents are
it,
raising
though.
pussies.
Oh, that's the truth. But I said I was equating it that I never really heard the news that much. It was just a quick little thing at night in the background, and I actually was concerned about the spray, and it wasn't bombarded in my head. Nowadays, they're taught shit in school that's so to where you would have to freak out a little bit if you're a child.
I think the difference is too is that like social media, like people are
social, not just social media, but the fact that news and information can be disseminated at such a rapid rate.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh my God, all these kids getting kidnapped nowadays. Well, it's probably not happening at a higher rate than it was when we just hear about it. Like if some kid got kidnapped in fucking, Oregon, you weren't hearing about it here because news didn't travel that fast. Relevant. But now if something like that happens, everybody fucking knows about it instantly. And so that's why the kids start freaking out. But parents are also teaching their kids that the world is so scary, and you see these things like the CFCs, you knew it was bad, but how bad did you truly freak out?
I actually had, when I would see it, I had a genuine body reaction to where this shit's bad, because I actually believed that stuff when I was younger. And it may have been true, it may have been not, but I was a child and I actually believed it because that's what I heard. So people are fed all kinds of horse shit nowadays, even as adults. Think of
one thing I will say is when I was from a young age, my father was a really smart guy, but he always taught us not so much to question everything, but verify everything. So if you heard on the news and something about the CFCs, learn about it, find out exactly what was going on.
I don't think
from a young age.
I don't think that the point of people like telling us about like things about like the CFCs and stuff, for example, were to freak us out, I think, because I remember hearing about that and making a conscious decision in my own purchases that instead of buying an aerosol can, I'm going to buy something that like, the spray. So like to me, it was more like for education, not to freak you out.
But they also would say that the egg yolks are horrible.
Well, it depends.
And they're
on
actually good.
Egg yolks are bad this week. Next week, the whole egg will be bad. The following week, you can have the egg, but only with butter. The following week, it'll be lard. It's like the kid is no fucking consistency.
Well, that's why it's hard.
I don't understand the keto diet.
Nicole's mom says when Nicole was growing up, it got bad because they used to have the missing kids on all the milk cartons. I remember that. I always looked for myself.
See, we had money, so we actually got a gallon of milk, so we didn't have to look at the little.
I don't remember.
We had money too. My father, for some reason, always bought half.
No, we had no money. I have no idea.
My
parents both worked, and I've actually been contemplating it recently. Like, where did the money go? Because we really didn't do that much. You know what I'm saying? My dad was a teacher and a coach, so I know he didn't get that much money.
Okay.
My mom worked for the state library, so she didn't get a ton. But they both had full-time jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like
how many siblings you have?
Just my brother, who's almost 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
Dude, the first set of apartments we live in was called the Commons, which made me laugh, like, because this is Ohio, where the town's like built in the 1700s, so the apartments are built outside the town. And I said, I guess they were like, well, they are commoners, we'll call them the Commons. But we lived there, and of course they were government assisted, poor people. But my parents didn't get that because they worked. And I just thought, like, we're in the same situation. Their parents aren't working, you're working, and we're here. Like, what? I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me. I think it's weird. Like, do you feel like you've done more with your kids than your parents did with you?
Yes, but the way I can break it down is my father didn't spend a whole lot of time with us when we were kids, but he had a very good job. My mom didn't work. All right. My dad made a very good living, so he was busting his ass. So it kind of rationalized why he didn't spend much time with. Have I done more with my kids? Absolutely. Growing up, we only took, like, my wife tells me about all these fucking trips that they took, family vacations they took. In 1984, we lived in New York. In 1984, it was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. I remember it. What was it? Sicily, 1912. Now, in 1984, we took a family vacation to the Poconos, which isn't really a very far trip from New York.
Did you go gambling?
And I was like fucking. I was like 5.
Didn't they have, or do they still have gambling there?
I think they do. Yeah. We stayed at the Fernwood Resort, and I still remember being there. We went to Bushkill Falls and we went hiking. So that was 1984. The next family vacation we took was 1987. We went to Washington, D.C. And then the other trips we took after that were actually business trips of my father's that he brought the family on. We went to Hershey Park one year. We went to Disney one year. We actually didn't go to Disney. We stayed in Orlando. We went to Disney one day. And actually, this was the trip that I really enjoyed. It was to Hot Springs, Virginia, to a hotel called the Homestead. It was beautiful brick, looked like Independence Hall. So red brick with the white caps on and it was just beautiful, old historic place. But those were the only family vacations we took. So, it's not like we went my father actually invested a lot of his money. So when he passed away, he left my mom set up real fucking nicely. So,
that sounded like bragging to me, if you want to know the truth. You want to know what I did? My grandparents moved to New Jersey from Ohio. So in the summer,
that's like going from like bad to worse. I mean,
they had a pretty good job there. And I don't know. I like going there, man. Like going to the shore and the boardwalk and all that. I remember being so disappointed because we used to go to Seaside Heights. That's where I grew up in the summer times going when I was a kid. And then to find out Jersey Shore was from there.
It's like it's now all fucking
I was like
douchebags.
But I like I don't know why, man. What's the log ride? What's it called? The log ride?
A log flume?
Yeah, they had those at the boardwalk, just a log ride. And I don't know why I always liked that as a kid, but
it's fun.
We went to Jersey in the summers, and that's pretty much what I did.
There were a lot of people that lived in the Northeast that was vacation. They would go to the Jersey Shore for a week or even a weekend, and
a funnel cake. And
but aside from those trips, and it's not I'm not trying to brag, but those trips with my father's business trip, his company was paying for most of it. We didn't spend any time with him. He was working the whole fucking time. So it was like, go find shit to do. So it wasn't like didn't feel like a family vacation because we didn't do things as a family. My wife, I mean, they drove. Her father was a teacher, so they drove cross. They had a fucking camper. They drove cross country. God knows how many times. They went to Disney World. God knows how many times.
My wife Disney was like going to a park for her, just a park,
Well,
like a
she grew
neighborhood
up here.
park.
She
She
grew up
went
here.
there all the time. And
We used to take every year or so when my wife and I got married. We would take a trip to Disney every year and a half. We'd spend 10 days down here. It was like a big vacation. Then we moved down here. We got annual passes, and now it's like we're bored.
Do you have the pass holder sticker on the back of your car?
Fuck no.
Okay, 'cause I was wondering how much I was gonna have to judge you.
What is
here's-
the point of that? Does it get you free parking, or is there any
That's,
point
that's
to
what I
it?
want to know. 'Cause
Nope.
it-
All
it-
it does is tell everybody
it
else
has
you're
to be
a passenger.
That's
bragging
dumb.
because that's
That's
what I
dumb.
said. If it meant something, would the guard walk to the back of they'd have to walk to the back of the cars and look.
Right.
Nope. It's to
So
let
yes, it's
everybody
just to
behind
let-
you know that you're a pass holder.
Is it a sticker or is it a magnet?
It's a magnet. They give it to you. Like when you sign up for annual passes, they send you your little wristbands, and in the pack with the wristbands is the white oval sticker that says AP.
Are you sure you said it's to let people know they're a pass holder? It's not
Yeah.
to let them know you're an asshole.
Well, same
I
thing.
thought-
6 of one, half dozen the other. See, I won't put that shit on my car. Like I won't put that shit on my car. I won't put a fucking license plate frame from a car dealership. If there's a fucking sticker where the car was bought, it's got to be fucking removed before I come off the lot.
Yeah.
I'm a dick like that.
The only reason I kept my license plate frame from where I bought my car is because it has dogs on it.
Okay.
Aw.
And like legitimately, there was dogs in the office when I was buying.
The last
my
new car I
car.
bought was my Jeep. And the day I went to go pick it up, it had a fucking license plate for East Hills Jeep. Had a fucking license plate frame. We walk out to do a walk around. And I told the guy, take that off the fucking car right now.
I'm also too cheap to buy a new license plate frame.
All right, fair enough.
So
I told the guy, take it off
Too
the
lazy
fucking
to
car right
take it
now.
off.
yeah.
He's like,
Exactly.
it's just, we put those on every car. I said, yeah, I know you do. Take it the fuck off. That's advertising. I said, if you don't take it off, the deal's over.
And then they added in like $500 on the.
No. No, I told him, if you don't take it off the car, I'm not accepting the car.
I met the dogs that are on my car, so
Nice.
yeah, there was a tiny little. It was a Kia dealership that I bought my car from.
Okay.
There was a tiny little Kia, and the dogs would sit inside the Kia in the office. It was the cutest thing ever.
That's cute.
Yeah, I liked it. So there's a picture of me petting them somewhere.
I had leased some Fords years ago, and I would take the fucking plate frame off.
Look
And
at him bragging again.
every time, well, no, I'll never fucking lease a car.
So
again.
wait a second. So
That was the
you
biggest financial fucking mistake.
you don't want the license plate frame that says where you bought the car, but which is more douchey, that or the one that has like blinged out stuff?
I won't do either of them.
Okay.
Do you so when you were where the car says like Toyota, do you pry that off too?
No. The make of the car is fine, but not the fucking dealership I bought it from. Like I
Doesn't it leave a mark?
You want like an unmarked Toyota?
Yeah, I don't want people to fucking no. They call that the badge delete. They call that now. So the fancy words.
Dude, my mother-in-law got one of the black Chargers that looks like the
The cop cars?
FHP cars.
Okay.
And she gets mad because everybody in front of her
They slow
slows down and she's getting mad at them. And I'm like, you're the asshole that bought an asshole's car. It looks like an asshole's car. Dude, half the cars on the road nowadays, I have to question.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that an undercover unmarked?
Well, now they're getting really fucking fancy with the unmarked cars. Like there's one that prowls around by me. You used to be able to look on the trunk, there'd be the fucking biscuit. They got rid of that. So there are no antennas, no other market. It looks
you
like a
always
fucking plain brown wrapper, complete plain brown wrapper.
But if you look at the actual license plate, it's usually like yellow or says something.
no,
Yeah, I know they're getting away from that
undercover
too.
cars have they have regular license plates on them.
I saw. Remember the old Malibus that they used to have for the Chevys?
Yeah.
I saw one of them. So I'm driving down 19 over by Clearwater through all the overpasses where you can actually fly down the road because there's
Yep.
not lights to stop at. And I was in the left lane, saw a car behind me with lights behind them get pulled over. So they made their way over into the right lane. And then next thing you know, I see the car take off past me and make its way through all the cars in front of us. The cop started to chase him, and then he just stopped and let him go.
Maddie, what's going on?
Is that the Australian?
That's the
Matt?
Australian guy.
So, hey, Matt, do you know Steve Hughes from Australia, the comedian?
I thought before you said comedian, I was like, you realize how fucking
Yeah,
big
you know-
that country is?
You know, Steve, I think he
Steve.
lives at kilometer marker 8. But I'm just curious. I just discovered this Steve Hughes comedian recently. Dude, he's like Carlin Hicks
Okay.
Like, oh man, I seriously like fell in love watching.
Not personally, but I know of him. Husey.
I don't watch too much comedy now, and I watched his hour set at this place like 2 times in one day. I liked it so much, man. It was
in person?
I have to check him out.
no, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he comes to the States whatsoever because he's an Australian English guy, but it's dude, it's so
Check him out.
good.
The what the hell were we just talking about?
Cop cars.
Cop cars. I got pulled
Heroes.
over. I got pulled over this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah.
For what was the reason?
My registration, I don't have the updated sticker on it.
So were they here? Did they? This is what I wonder. Was he running your stuff, or did he have a license plate reader? Because they're starting to get license plate readers.
It was a motorcycle cop, so he had no way to scan it. So he was just behind me, saw the expired reg.
Oh,
So
he
he's
just saw this sticker.
So he pulled me over. I paid for it, and it should have been mailed to my office. But if the address isn't perfect, the mailman doesn't fucking use his brain. Like if the suite number's not on there, he doesn't. So it never fucking arrived. So I never got it. I have the receipt, and that's what I handed the cop. I'm like, I paid for it. Here's the receipt.
Legally, you can show them a picture or your like receipt registration, like on your phone. You can even show a picture of your license on the phone.
I printed out the receipt when I paid for the registration. I have it on my visor.
Did he accept that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's like, yeah. He's like, you could get a ticket for it. I'm like,
here's what's crazy is
whatever.
Say your car wasn't registered and I was driving it. I'm the driver. I get the ticket, even though it's your car. If they pulled me over.
Yep.
But I love their inconsistency because if I'm driving your car through the red light, you're the one that gets the ticket. Like those are conflicting.
Yeah.
Make up your mind. Well, they have made up their mind. They just want money.
That's it. That's what it comes down to.
But yeah, the registrate, dude, if you want to know how big of slaves people are, I just mentioned, okay, say if you want to register your car, do it one time, not have to keep every year updating and getting a new sticker and paying. Dude, just to suggesting that, people flipped out.
Let me tell you this. You guys have it so fucking nice and easy here in Florida.
Why is that?
So nice.
Why is that?
Okay, so the what sucks is that the new plate fee, which is like $400 or whatever the fuck it is, but you only pay that once, so you have the tag, you can transfer the tag. In New York, not only do you have to register your car every year, you have to have it inspected every year.
You used to have to do that in Florida.
Yeah.
But I think I forget what the inspection fee is now. It's probably somewhere between $40 and $50. So every year you have to have that done. If your check engine light is on for any reason, you fail.
Well,
and they will not give you a sticker until you repair it and make it pass.
You should not have your check engine light anyway on.
True, but a lot of times things that'll trigger your check engine light are completely irrelevant and useless. In my Jeep, my check engine light was on because one of the vacuum lines has a slight leak in it, but it doesn't. The truck runs fine. The fuel economy hasn't changed. Nothing's changed. It's just because it's got a slight vacuum leak.
So we were talking about those New York counties with millions of people. So what was the one 1.4?
Yeah, both were like 1.4.
So how many vehicles do you think are in that county?
I would say pretty damn close to 1.4 million.
Really?
Oh yeah. I would say it's probably close because you have people that have multiple vehicles. Everybody has a car there. It's not, it's not New York City where you can get away with not having a car. You have to have a car on Long Island.
Maddie says in Australia that if you are driving an unregistered car, you get a ticket for driving unregistered and the owner of the car gets a fine.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but Australia's fucking weird because you can't modify your cars at all. It's like weird, right? I hate that. I like modifying cars.
What do you mean by that?
You can't put a turbo. You can't
no
soup up your
spinners.
car, no spinners.
No spinners.
It has to be as stock as can be.
Wait, you can't even do aesthetic modifications?
Nope.
I might be
That's
down
dumb.
with that, man.
Yeah,
I want to just go with the basic. They love the people that, dude. I was doing a show somewhere. It's like 2:00 in the morning, and it was outside of Orlando. And usually I stay with my son, but his living arrangements changed, so I don't have a place to stay. So I was sleeping in my car. So I was
We've all done it.
2:00 in the morning, and I was actually just driving around, partaking, and drove by a gas station kind of in the hood, and there was a big truck there and just had rap music just blaring. Dude, like so loud. You could probably hear it from blocks away. Like 2 a.m. It
Yeah.
just don't you love when people blast their music like it's theirs? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they're playing it and they're like it's dude, this ain't your song.
On the
Like,
way here today, I saw somebody blasting opera. It made me really happy.
It was
That-
right over by the
Yeah,
7. All right.
yes.
When I was listening to that, all I could picture is like a murder happening. Like
Exactly.
a murder
That's-
montage.
I've asked many crowds, I go, so say you get an Uber and they pull up and I said they have death metal blasting, rap, or opera. Which one are you the most afraid of? And everybody's picked opera. And I said, I wonder, are we programmed because of movies to think that?
Probably.
So-
I think.
So K2 the other day, she posted on her Facebook. She's like, "Why does nobody blast classical music?"
Classical and opera, 2 different things.
I know, but similar.
I blast classical,
I blast classical too.
but opera.
Oh,
no.
dude, I love like Skinnerd and
But if an
Aerosmith.
Uber
I love
came up,
everything.
if
I
an
love
Uber came
everything.
up and
I'm
was
joking. You
blasting
were
death
saying
metal,
classical.
I'd be like, "This is my fucking Uber." Like death metal, that's my fucking Uber.
Same,
Like we're fucking rocking out.
same.
Really?
Oh yeah, I might slit his fucking throat, but we're fucking rocking out.
I met a rocking guy. He was probably in his mid-20s at Pegasus. We were talking about music, and I just mentioned the Ministry album, the Psalm 69.
Yeah.
It's like 91. And he goes, it's way before my time. It's like, have you heard of Mozart? Like,
Well,
I
Wait
hate
for
that.
your
I
time.
hate it when people are like, "Oh, you're too young to know what that is," and I'm like, "Excuse me,
Bullshit.
Bach is my friend." Okay,
both of my fucking kids listen to fucking classics, listen to fucking the legit like foundations of rock and roll. They listen to the oldies. They
I
listen
hate
to
it.
the
I
good
really hate it when people are like, "You're too young to know what that is," and I'm
Your
like,
mom blasts NPR. Is that why they like talk really softly about things like rice? What to talk
I think
about?
it's,
"Rice."
I love the,
Ultimately, it's a delicious dish.
I love all these things nowadays. I'm hearing more and more reporters, announcers, and things with lisps. And I'm sorry, it's so hard to take
We're in the
somebody-
age of inclusivity.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's hard to
which
take
is-
you serious.
Which is fucking us professionals up. I mean,
Well, let me rephrase that. We're in the age of inclusivity.
What's
It's when they start talking like this.
What,
I'm
we
sorry, I take
talk
it back.
like this
the whole time?
yes, when they're talking like this, it's a little distracting.
They're trying to be serious, so they're like talking like a TED talk.
Shells by the seashore.
Dude, I've heard like advertisements, so you would think they're doing a voiceover, they would have talent, and it is. There's like a lips to it. And I'm like, are they hiring them on purpose?
man,
because of that?
I
or-
do a lot of voice. So actually, I do more auditions than jobs. And once like if it's a national spot, I'll look for it after I know it's produced and released, and I'm like, I fucking did it so much better than that guy. And not like
Don't
not
you
even
hate
too,
that shit?
but it's like,
Sorry, not for voice
I mean,
stuff
the
for me, but
casting
yeah.
director is going to be making the final decision, but it's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I see sometimes though with the performers the same idea, and I'm like, really, they hired them and not me? And I'm like, but
Yeah,
but
it's like, but I'm so much fucking better. Come on, hire me.
that's all.
That's me just being a conceited twat.
No, but you're right. You're right, because I do the same thing when I realize that people get gigs that I wanted. I'm just like, that was dumb.
So what are you auditioning for?
Just me in general, or
Mhm.
him? Oh, like dance stuff, performance stuff.
Do you actually have to go, or do you send videos, or do you have to go in person? And
Both. I don't like videos. I hate doing videos because I like feeding off people's energy. So I'd rather go in person, but I don't like sending videos, but I have. So it's usually I'm judgy when people try to audition first. When I'm booking and people audition with a video for dance stuff, I don't like the video to be like in your messy kitchen or something. So I don't like that. So I'm kind of picky about it. That's the other reason too. I try to have like a plain background or
And the
like
fuck-
a uniform background.
Asking for a headshot from somebody that's taking in that fucking bathroom mirror, and you can see a dookie in the toilet
Dude.
behind him.
I
I don't hire people like that.
I did a show in Crystal River, and here I'm bragging now.
That's right.
And I went to use the bathroom, and there was a person waiting for the woman's, and then there was another bathroom. So there was a woman's one, and there was another one, and the woman's one had a figure of what looked like a woman, and then the other one had like 2 figures, and then it didn't have a label.
Okay.
So that was the first one that became available. So I said to the lady that was waiting before me, I said, "How do you identify?" You know, do you want to go in the miscellaneous one or you want to go in the woman's one? And she looked at both of them and she pointed to the woman. She goes, I'm just going in there to take selfies anyways.
Fuck.
It made me laugh so hard because, yeah, they go in. Dude, I said if my wife started posting those like pre-workout bathroom selfies, I'd get in a fight with her. Like, but if she'd ever did the Snapchat animal filter pics, I would divorce her.
Yeah.
And that's material, and I'm not going to go into it, but that's the honest truth. Like, I think that
I agree.
So stupid, man. Like,
Leela Bell says, I get that you're too young to know what that is frequently. And I started responding with, do I not appear to be a lover of classics? And she's right on, because she's classic as hell.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Nicole, I feel that way about performer choice too. I'm right there with you though, with the fucking animal faces. Like, my wife got an iPhone finally, and she started, like, I'll send her a text message and she'll like it. And I have an Android, so when you like a message, it sends me a text message telling me that you liked my message.
I don't like that.
I told her to fucking stop. I told her, if you don't fucking stop, I'm blocking you. And she finally fucking stopped, but I was legit gonna fucking block her. Like,
do you remember when Facebook introduced the like?
No.
When they changed it to, you're talking about when they changed it to the what it is now, where you can do thumbs up.
When you were first on Facebook, there, I don't think you could like a posting, could you?
You could only like it. There was no other option.
Was that how it was?
Yeah,
at the
it was
very
just
beginning.
it was either thumbs up or nothing.
For some reason, I thought it was nothing at the beginning.
No, I mean, I've been on there since 2008. So
it's about the time I got on. Then I got off for a while, but so maybe it was when they introduced all the other things. But somebody said, "Oh, I just like." So is that what it was? You could thumbs up.
Yeah, you could click like.
It was considered a like.
Yeah, and then they updated it because everybody wanted a thumbs down,
which they still don't have.
But now you can give it a thumbs up. You can give it a smile, a laugh face, a heart, a crying, or an angry. Now, here's what's interesting, and this is where a lot of fucking comedians fuck up. Facebook algorithms are based off of the reactions that people give. A thumbs up is like 1 point. A laughy face is like 2 points. A heart react is like 2 points. So, Shannon, and I'll call it out. Shannon Kelly called me out on stage, from the stage, saying that how I like all her, how I heart react all her pictures. First of all, you're not that fucking special because I do it to everybody. Second of all, it's because I know that the more of those reactions you get, the more likely it is that your post will continue to be shown. So that's why
you're the one to blame.
Yeah, I'll
you're
fucking
just boosting her posts.
Not only do I heart react to your shit, Pat, I jerk off when I fucking see it.
I'm waiting
all right,
for
that's where I'm at with your posts. So next time, and I'm doing it while I'm on the shitter. So next time you post something, I want you to remember that.
I want them to give a vomit face react. I
I
need a little vomit face.
But so you just said something interesting, made me think of something, and I totally. So you were saying that, what about somebody being special? Oh, you're not that special. So I wanted to tell people that I don't like anything. I don't react to any postings. I don't like anybody's pages. I never have. I never will. So I wanted to tell people, don't think you're special that I don't like your shit. I don't like anybody's stuff.
Yeah, same thing.
And here I truly believe this because I see the pettiness and the childishness and the high schoolness of comics. I truly believe, because I don't like and play the jerk off game of, hey fam, love you B, blah blah blah. But yet I just feel like I'm like ostracized in a way. Like, dude, I'm literally not. Here's what's weird. So almost everybody in the local scene, I was like super friendly with them. And then all of a sudden they became a douchebag to me.
Why?
And I have no idea. I have never changed. So I don't know if they realized, hey, I don't like this guy for some reason. But something has made people like just literally stop talking to me, almost ignore me in person. And I could give a fuck less because
You've never been nothing but nice to me.
I've never been nothing but nice. But here's what I found out.
I've actually never seen you be. I've seen you have things that you said, that you would say about people because you didn't like something that they did, a specific situation. But to most everybody, you're always professional, polite.
Well, that's the thing, and I really don't have anything against people. I have problems and issues with actions.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that's where it's weird. So I was good friends with Rob Gargiulo, and he would say, well, you're an asshole. And I say, give me an example. And he said, the way you talk online. And I go, what? Because I give my opinion. And that's what people don't realize. They think if you say something different than what they said, they think it's an attack on them.
Nah.
And it's
that's
not.
that's the mentality today. Though.
They think it's and it's like, dude, that's called a discussion. Like
you and I know disagree on certain things. All right. Yet we can sit here, and when you first came in the office, civil conversation. I have nothing but nice things to say about it. We may disagree, but okay.
Dude, I so disagree with somebody. I can't say his name, but he's a local comic, and I was going occasionally and partaking with him and whatnot. Politically, we're opposite ends of the spectrum, and totally get along, totally fine, because he's a semi-okay person. But other people aren't that way.
I like that semi-okay person. I love that.
But the other people, they just, if you have one little disagreement, then they just get put in this group, and then that's
because they can't handle having a discussion. They can't handle hearing your viewpoint and expressing their own. It's if you disagree with me, you're a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself.
I don't think people can be. I don't think they're not nuanced themselves, so they don't understand like a nuance.
And that's exactly it.
Just music. Music's a perfect example. Like you said, you listen to all kinds of music, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people are
That's dumb.
country, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just hip hop, which they're almost becoming the same in country. Country's almost hip hop nowadays.
There's a lot of
Like,
crossover these
Yeah,
days.
some guy did a thing where he overlaid like a whole bunch of songs, and they're all the fucking same.
Mhm.
Like old country rock. There was like a whole bunch of them, and the beat was the same. They overlaid all perfectly.
when I heard the #1 song, the Billy Ray Cyrus and the other horse riding
Old Town
cowboy
Road,
guy,
Nas
yeah,
X,
that beat,
Mhm.
the Boys to Men, One Sweet Day, Mariah Carey. Like,
Yeah.
I went and listened to the song, and I'm like, what? Like, have you've heard the song?
Yeah, Old Town Road.
Dude, somebody could make that in their garage. That's the beat that I hear at some of these music open mics that's just in the background. It's the same crap that
There's a comedy band called the Axis of Awesome. I think they've actually broken up.
Yeah, that song that you showed me. That's like,
The
like 20
chord-
different songs or
Four
something.
chord songs, and it's how all of these pop songs all have the same exact chord progression. Exactly the same. It's they call it four, and they sing all these fucking songs with the same 4 chords. And I mean, music today is shit. You know that.
There's a lot of times the songs will start playing, and I'll be like, "Oh, this is that song," and then it's some other song.
Yeah,
dude. So, what would you say is a couple hacky songs that you would think it played at a music open mic? Do you know what people?
Journey. Don't Stop Believing.
No, not
that
saying.
would be too
That would be
complex.
karaoke. Actual
okay.
them playing the song on a guitar and then singing it. Do you
Oh,
know what the heck?
Like Jumper from Third Eye Blind.
Anything by Jason Mraz or John Mayer.
I'm just waiting to see if you guys said it. Wonderwall.
Yeah, that one
Wonderwall
too.
is one of.
Yeah.
So that's like a joking thing that people just know. Like Dave Matthews, Wonderwall. Only Want to Be With You. What's his?
Only Want to Be With You.
Who's that?
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and Blowfish, yeah. So people do a lot of those songs, but Wonderwall is like the biggest. It's like the hack joke.
What's funny is when I met my wife, she was a karaoke DJ, and karaoke is the same fucking way. Any karaoke night, you're going to hear Journey, Don't Stop Believing. You're going to hear somebody sing, most likely New York, New York from Frank Sinatra. They're going to do Paradise by the Dashboard Light. These are songs that I've actually grown to fucking hate.
You don't like it when I sing New York, New York?
When you do it, it's all right because it's you.
Okay.
Most fucking karaoke nights, so like those are the same fucking songs you hear, and you just hate them at some point. And it's the same type of cliche. And that fucking song Wonderwall is any fucking idiot that can learn a few chords can play that fucking song. Well, it's not a hard song to play.
So I'm at this place at like 11:30 at night, and I hear it, and it kind of sounds like Wonderwall, but it's a little bit more jazzed up version. It sounds kind of like these people can play music. And how the guy was like, I thought he was joking around. I thought they were going to go into like their own or like another song. And then they totally started playing Wonderwall. And I like went to a couple other musicians. I'm like, are they being serious? Like, they're like, oh yeah, totally serious. So I talked to them afterwards. Not only are they serious for that, they have a music store. These were guys in like their 50s that have a music store. They played Wonderwall, and they played a Hootie song. Because I went outside and I was like, oh my gosh, they're playing Hootie now. Like, it blew my mind to hear.
Well, it's not mind blowing because those are fucking basic songs to play.
What blew my mind that they would be in their 50s and playing that. Like, I did. If I played a guitar, I would just go up there and just start playing and probably just start singing shit.
Now, one
Like,
thing one guy I will give credit for. There was a viral video that came out a while back where a guy in a coffee shop, one guy, one guitar, singing
against the world.
No, I can't. One man against the world. I can't remember what the fucking song was. It was the one, from the window to the walls.
Till the sweat
Till the
rolls
sweat
down
dri-
my
He sings it in a
eyeballs.
fucking coffee shop acoustic,
I love it.
and it was
Yeah, they-
fucking
I
hilarious.
love
That's
when people do
actually
that stuff like that.
that's
Get low.
That's-
Get low. That was the song.
that's I think an actual famous person did that.
There's a whole
He's not
album
famous,
of pop.
but I think he's a relatively well-known guy.
Yeah, because
There's
I've heard
There's
that.
a bunch of albums that are like pop goes punk, punk goes pop,
Yeah.
like stuff like
But this
that.
dude was like in the coffee shop, oh skeet skeet motherfucker, oh skeet
What
skeet.
about
goddamn.
Fish? Wasn't it Fish did the so much drama in LBC? Kind of.
Yeah.
They're like, have you heard that? It's like to fuck like a.
Well, one guy
fiddle.
redid 99 Problems.
Yeah, I've heard.
Have you gentlemen heard of Richard Cheese?
Dick Cheese.
That's correct. Richard
What
Cheese.
band is he from?
He is from he is an independent artist from what I am aware, but he did Gin and Juice and he does this like real jazzy, like lounge style, but he
Okay.
does stuff like that.
I wanted to do that with AMG's Bitch Better Have My Money.
Bitch better have my money.
That's people know that song, but they don't know AMG, and it bothers me. Dude, I've done black clubs. You got a song you want to come up to? I'm like, can you play AMG any song? And they're like, well, I don't know.
I
I'm
I did a show at a black club once, and the guy wanted to play some walk up music for me. He's like, you have a walk up song you like? And usually, if one of the go to songs for walk up is Pantera's Walk. I'm like, Walk by Pantera. He's like, what? I'm like, play Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster.
see that like I think the Pantera, that song Walk, stripped down slow jazz version would be great. Like I still listen to that album, man. That's one of those albums that I still listen to from back in the day.
Well, the TV show the Osbournes,
Mm-hmm.
they had I think it was like a lounge style of Crazy Train, and the show Big Mouth has it's on Netflix. Which, if you haven't seen it yet, fucking watch it.
I haven't watched the
pretty fucking
newest
fun.
season,
Big
but
Mouth.
I like it. Yeah,
But do you know what the theme song to that show is?
I don't remember.
It's Changes by Ozzy Osbourne, but it's sung in like a
Oh, I got
pop ballad kind of
cool.
style.
remember him and
Somebody
it was
showed
Lita
me-
Ford. If I close my eyes forever, was it?
That was a great fucking song, man.
Remember the video?
Yeah.
It was all
Beavis and Butthead did it. There was they were watching MTV, and that came on. It was like Monster Face and Pussy music doesn't mix. It's fucking man. Lita Ford was so hot back in the day.
I like it when people do the other way too, because I heard yesterday the metal cover of Despacito.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Metal cover or the original?
The metal cover. I've heard the original.
Oh,
I've heard the original played all fucking 50 billion times that it was played in the fucking year that it came out.
Did I ever sing you my song? I
No.
made up my own version of it, but it's about Fabuloso.
Isn't that a cleaning product?
Yes.
Okay.
so
Fabuloso.
You-
Pasando por lo piso.
posted a Need to Breathe quote the other day. Do you listen to them, or did
Me?
you
What?
listen to them?
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
You posted a quote from Need to Breathe.
Was it
which
me?
is a
Are you sure?
band. Yes, I'm positive it was you. You're going through a
Like on
trying
Facebook?
time, or yeah. No, you did it in a bathroom at where we frequent together. Yeah, you posted on Facebook. I'm really?
Am I on drugs today?
Are you serious? You don't?
This thing?
No, well, that has I can read. For people that she just showed me a Henry David Thoreau quote, and it even said,
This?
"No, it may have been like
I don't think it was me.
I'm gonna think less of you if I actually see it
This?
on your.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go,
sorry.
ladies and gentlemen. Hey, mom, you see that, mom? She said she doesn't do drugs, but she's posting bands from a Christian or lyrics
don't-
from a Christian
I
band. I was
didn't-
wondering, do you listen to them? Do you even know that's a band that?
No, I didn't know that this was a band.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I literally like Googled some things and found a quote that I liked.
Okay.
So
Well, they're a Christian band. They're
Oh.
one of those ones that do it like Switchfoot style, kind of, where you
gotcha.
don't fully.
They're
No.
they're crossover.
Well, they're not actually they're a Christian group, but they don't actually sing every song "Praise You, Jesus." But
Right.
you listen to the song. So this is how confusing. I love people that sing lyrics and don't know what they're talking about. Remember Kirk
Sorry.
Franklin, "Make me clap my hands, make me want to dance,
Yeah.
jump or stomp, not jump."
Yeah.
Wrong. same writer, right? Like, but stomp. You know that song, "Stomp." Atheist. There was a young like teenager. He's an atheist, and he was singing along to it. And it just made me laugh. I'm like, do you even know what you're praising Jesus right now?
A lot of
and
those
you're-
artists, they do that to try to like win over the secular crowd.
Oh, well, that's Kirk. It makes me clap my hands, makes
Yeah.
me want to dance, stomp. Like, and he says Jesus in it, and this kid was such an idiot. But there was a Switchfoot song where we were meant to live for so much more.
Right.
We lost ourselves, and it says somewhere deep inside screams for second life. So we were at a bar, and I was laughing, and people were playing a Switchfoot song, and there was a guy, and people were like, "Bro," going crazy, and I was like, "Dude, it's funny. These people are like rocking out to Christian music. They have no idea." I was friends with the band members. They did a cover of the Switchfoot song. So afterwards, I was telling the lead singer about it, and I go, "You know what that song means, right?" And it says everything inside screams for second life, and he goes, "Oh no, something about abortion."
yeah,
And
yeah.
it
we'll
just
go
made
with
me
that.
laugh because it's actually talking about being born again, because you're supposed to but
Maddie says Skillet is a Christian band.
Yes, I like
Skillet-
them.
I was going to say Skillet sucks.
nah, play lock,
I don't hate them. I've seen them in
Locked in
concert.
a
I've also seen
Cage is-
Switchfoot in concert.
Locked in a Cage is a good song from Skillet.
And
You've
Leela Bell
seen
says
who?
she loves the metal cover of Baby Shark, which I have heard.
I mean,
That is
technically, Creed, Sixpence None the Richer, and POD are all Christian bands.
Dude, we saw
Really?
Creed.
Sixpence None the Richer?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
I have heard.
I mean, they're not exactly a fucking
Kiss
metal
me.
band.
It was
Well,
before they went.
I thought that chick was bad. Like when that song came out, I thought that chick that was cute.
I met her.
Yeah,
I have a T-shirt with her signature on it.
Sweet.
We saw Creed at Peaches. It was a record store on 19, like an old
Scottsdale.
vinyl. And this is how it was before they broke. We went and saw them do an acoustic set sitting on just stools, and there was like 10 of us there. About 2 weeks later, they've been playing on the radio, 98 Rock around here. About 2 weeks later, My Own Prison hits nationwide, and we wouldn't have been able to even get anywhere
Near 'em, yeah.
close to it. It was so crazy, like just within like a 2 week period. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We were there with 10 people. Nobody really knows who they are except for in Florida area because they were from here. Yeah, people. I don't. You know, Scott Staff's parents, when he got in trouble, he had to write Bible lyrics, or not lyrics, but Bible verses. That was his punishment. Like,
Damn.
Same.
I mean, it's so enjoyable. I don't know why you would consider it punishment, right?
I
Like,
guess.
I used to have to memorize Bible verses and write them repeatedly.
my daughters do. All my children have gone to a private Christian school until middle school.
Okay.
They go and get like indoctrinated with one religion, and then they go and get indoctrinated with like the state religion. Like,
I
Then they graduate and become fucking,
yeah.
I
atheists.
enjoy using the Bible against Christians sometimes because I know so much of it.
But me too. That's what I'd said. I actually know, like I read it, man.
Mhm.
Like I've read the large majority of it to where it's bothersome to sit in a congregation and hear people preach horrible stuff. We're going to this.
Excuse me, sir. What about this other verse that says this?
Well, we were going to this one congregation, and they actually started taking credit card payments for offering.
Was
for,
it
for
Scientology?
tithing. No. And I was like, interest for Jesus? Like, you
Yeah.
guys, nobody seemed bothered by it either. They're all just like, and most Christians do the Santa Claus and Easter
Yeah.
Bunny and all that. So they're
They're
Just about
worshiping their false idols.
yeah, and that's what I said. People talk about, like, I remember Bill Maher would always be like, talking snakes, and he'd make fun of stuff like that. It's like, no, you should make fun of like the real stuff. Like, we've never done Santa Claus with our children.
Good.
And
Thank you.
and none of that stuff. And people get mad if you don't follow along with society's things. And I think if you lie to them when you're young, you're the only person that they really know. You're their life, and if you're lying to them, it makes them like susceptible to lies as they get older. You
I
know,
used to-
like,
I got in trouble when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade because I told some kid that Santa wasn't real, and my teachers got mad at me.
oh yeah, parents. My children know, but they also know they don't go tell everybody.
I didn't care.
But
I didn't care.
they laugh at the people. Like, there's 5th graders that still believe in the elf on the show. What sicko?
Now
Fucking
that
parents.
that is some shit that I fucking will not do.
Well, that teaches
Okay,
them to
but
go
wait a
along with the
second.
surveillance state.
Elf on the
Exactly.
Shelf.
Like,
Elf on the Shelf is not real according to people, but nanny cams are totally real. So why not put a nanny cam inside your Elf on the Shelf? Best of both worlds.
True, except you gotta move the elf into mischievous things. Like my nephew, my brother does it with his kids, the Elf on the Shelf.
Okay.
And I went over there one
glad
day
you
before
clarified
Christmas.
that.
Yeah,
My brother does it with his kids.
he does it with
Oh,
his.
we were talking about
kids.
Christmas. What do we-
It does the Elf on the Shelf thing, and I went over there, and his son, who's he's 5 years old, real cute kid. He's like, he's asking me about my Elf on the Shelf, and I'm like, I don't have one. It's fucking stupid to me.
Well, dude, but I told you I found out at the age of 4 about porn, and basically, well, when I was 4, I got into a closet and I found a Transformer car. Remember, it was one of the red ones in a box. I actually took it out and played with it. There were some other toys, but that's the only one I played with. I actually took it out, played with it, and would put it back. And I did it multiple times before Christmas. Walk downstairs Christmas morning, and I see that Transformers car from Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, it's from Santa. And I remember just thinking, like, you guys are liars. I'm not kidding, man. At the age of 4, I seriously thought that, like, my parents are liars. And this is how I am with 5th or kindergarten. I had, remember when you were young, you had like your play clothes and like your school clothes.
Yep.
And so I wanted to wear my play clothes, my shoes that I liked to school, but I wasn't allowed. Not allowed. You got to wear your school shoes. Well, I actually took the shoes I wanted to wear and my backpack and traded them out. And I would wear the shoes I wanted to wear at school and then switch them back out when I got home at the age of 5. And I remember just thinking, like, nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? So I've been really using my own common sense as opposed to what people say. Like, just like they remember you have to use a number 2 pencil.
Yep.
I didn't do that.
See, I think you didn't do that just to be a fucking rebel.
No, I think I did it some and some not, and it didn't matter. You just need to make sure it was.
Well, the number 2 is the thickness of the graphite, and number 1 is harder.
Well,
And
some of them would leave, the shitty ones I think would leave like a glare too, kind of, and they couldn't read it. Or did I remember we had
Scantrons? We still had Scantrons.
so I went to
They still have Scantrons in college.
my junior and senior year.
Yeah, and you got to buy the cards.
Yeah. We always had to buy the cards.
My junior and senior year in high school, I didn't go to high school classes at all. I went to college.
Okay.
Like, I didn't step foot in a single high school class. And I played football at 2 different high schools. So I played football at 2 high schools in high school and didn't even go to class there, which is weird, isn't it? I enrolled in school and then went to the college. But we had like essays and like actually really had to do things. Like, and when I went back to school years later to get my teaching degree, everything was a Scantron.
Yeah.
And I remember going, what? Like, what a joke. Like, you have an option. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a big difference between an essay and actually writing your thoughts or picking one of 4. That's why it bothers me with the reactions. I was saying a lot of people, they get bothered if you comment and don't react to their thing.
Why?
And I'm like, so I'm supposed to pick one of those 5, 6 pre-selected emotions as opposed to my own actual response. Somebody posted that people that post comments without reacting are social media hecklers.
Patrick, you need new friends.
These are comedians. These are local comics that most of my actual friends kind of think the same as me, or they're dead, which kind of sucks.
Or they're dead because they think the same as you.
Well, now because of drugs and shit. Like,
no, I know.
a few of my like best friends are gone. It really sucks when, you know what I'm saying? There ain't.
Yeah.
If you truly are being honest, going through life, there's not tons of people in your life that are really important.
Right.
If you're an honest person. Now you could be like, that's what I see in the comedy community is people saying love. I don't think they really know what love is. Like, and I'm weird. I think it's weird when you say love you. So I saw 2 people at an open mic. They didn't even talk to each other. I watched the one walk in. They didn't even really converse at all. Went and sat different areas. Then the next day on Facebook, they were saying, so great to see you last night and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I don't know.
What they really mean is so great to know you're still alive.
If that.
Well, I think a lot of it is to look like it's a glamorous life on social media and
No one's life is the way it is on social media.
Can I just say that I genuinely like you and I'm glad you're here?
Well, thank you.
I gave you a hug when you came in today. I don't give all of our guests a hug, okay?
Well, I don't like.
He gave me a blowjob before you walked in. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding, you didn't.
That's why I was
That's
late.
what
I knew.
getting it. Well, that's. I didn't have to do that. I thought that's what we had to do to get on the show.
No. This isn't How to Die Alone.
When the cop come and talk to
Oh.
Nicole's mom, I can't pronounce her last name.
It's
but
okay. Do you want to learn how?
I know I could. It's easy to say if you would actually know it, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Hurricane.
Did she get made fun of
I have been made fun of my entire life because of that name.
because of that name?
Yeah. Because it's my last name.
So why didn't they shorten that? Because usually when people came over with the really long names, they shortened them.
Because we didn't come over from a different. I mean, we did come over from a different country, but we didn't come over from one of the countries that you could change your name.
So what's your background?
I'm Cuban.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you come across in like a car from the 50s transformed into a boat, or
I didn't personally come over
seen
from
those
the
things, right?
50s. No. So I'm going to give you the short version of my family history. They were from Spain, and then they came to Florida, to St. Augustine specifically, and then they were like not doing the best of jobs, and then they were like either come back to Spain or leave, and then they went to Cuba, and then many years later, my family came from Cuba to here to South Florida, essentially.
my great grandparents were from Ireland and they came over, and my last name was actually Walsh when they came over.
Mhm.
And this is the truth. They worked on like the railroads, and my grandpa got in a fight with the head railroad person after work. And he said, none of you Walshes will ever work here again. And my grandpa changed their name from Walsh to Welsh.
That's fucking
Like-
funny.
My family came over from Spain, and we had a governor who was a governor in St. Augustine, but I guess he was like pocketing some of the money. And so
Shocking.
then yeah, and then Spain was like either come back so we can arrest you, but they were like, no, peace out, and they dipped out to Cuba.
Nice.
Let me ask, like, so Harvey Weinstein is actually going to court, and I don't really follow that stuff
I'm not following
too much
close
because I just don't. Whatever. I pay attention to everything, but only certain things that I really go into, and that doesn't really affect my life, so I don't go into it too much. But why hasn't he like just left the country?
I think because he can't at this point.
He could have though.
Well, he could, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had like I was
That's what Roman Polanski did.
Yeah, but Weinstein, how much money does he have? He could have done something with money to go and be on an island with Epstein somewhere, I'm guessing. Like,
Well, Epstein's not on an island anymore.
well, if he didn't kill him, here's my thinking
Well, he didn't
is
kill himself.
if he didn't kill himself, it wouldn't shock me if he's still alive somewhere. I think they do that with a lot of people that, you know, they
Kill a doppelganger.
Well, they in the world that people believe they're dead, but in the real world they're living.
Like Elvis isn't dead. He's
No,
running
he's-
a donut shop in Cleveland.
Elvis is dead for sure.
Think so?
What about Hitler?
Yeah. See somebody like that, like Hitler. How they
Hitler's dead.
said, I'm
Hitler's
sure he's dead now, unless there is life
No,
extension
that's it.
technology we have no idea about. Like,
I think Elvis is still alive.
I agree.
I got into Elvis a little bit recently on Sirius.
Yeah.
Like just going along, and I just listen. I don't actually see what the channel is. And I heard an Elvis song, and I was like, "That was Elvis." And I like started listening more, and yeah, it was great, man. And I got all excited to find out he took the black man's music. I'm like, yeah. That was it. Is he? Dude, he was a hell. I love his How Great Thou Art. I love hearing him sing that.
I'm a big Elvis fan. I love Elvis. And the more I learn, not so much about his music, but the way his business was run, the way his father ran his business, the way that was run, it's amazing how detailed they were. And how I was watching a thing where the curator of the museum is going through old checkbooks, and they're able to track and see who was where and doing what based on the records that were kept. And the records are ridiculously detailed, you know, and like how that part of his life was. That to me, that's just fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible. Elvis died in the last few years. Didn't they find an old guy in a small town and do DNA? I have
I
no
just
idea.
looked it up, and it says, "Oh, dang! I got a pop up, and I can't read the article now."
So I had when
There was a body of an old homeless man, and they did a DNA test because everybody said he looked like Elvis, and it was.
Oh,
The
okay.
body of a homeless man found in San Diego has been identified as that of Elvis Presley.
I picture
Oh,
this.
nice. Is that the Weekly World News?
Could you
No,
imagine this
that was in 2015.
old homeless
so.
guy? I swear I'm the king. Like, and he's like trying to dance.
Lose my shoes, motherfucker.
So I used to, when I was like in my early 20s, I would sell like cannabis occasionally. And I sold to this guy like in his 50s from Chicago, acted like he was like a gangster and hard and whatnot. And he wouldn't always have money and have to front it to him. And I'd have to go to his house to get it from him. And often he wouldn't be there, and his girlfriend would pay me with a check. She's like 60 years old writing me. I'm like, hey, on the memo, can you write marijuana? Like, I'm a good record keeper too,
Yeah.
like Elvis.
It's important.
Yeah, in 2015, San Diego, a homeless man died who everybody called Jesse Doe. Nobody knew his real name. They did a DNA test, and it matched exactly that of Elvis Aaron Presley.
Who reported that? Where's that coming from? What's
That
the
is
source?
coming from EmpireNews.net.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, I think Empire's the fake one.
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
let's
one of
see what
those.
else.
Now here, here's the thing.
Let's see what else.
Jesse is Elvis's brother. Elvis did have a brother who died as an infant, or died at birth.
And I wish I had Jesse's girl. I mean,
Yeah.
so if you look on that, if you find that site, you can go look at the about, and I bet you it says they're a satire. There's a World News Daily
Let's see.
Report is one that people share. It's
All
like
the fucking time.
it's like a Babylon Bee. I think
Yep.
people know Babylon Bee is like an onion now,
yeah.
but the World News Daily Report, people still share stuff from there like it's real, and I'll go and show them the disclaimer that it's satirical, fake.
You know what? I stopped fucking telling people that shit's
Yeah,
fake. I just leave it
I'm
alone.
slowly getting away from, dude. I like people are still. I've seen the Shaq said Trump won the presidency. Just give him a chance. That's from like 2016, the article, and people were sharing it like he's saying it now.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
like,
today
nobody-
somebody shared an article about a tractor trailer that went off the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel, like it's as if it's breaking news. It fucking happened in 2017.
This has to be fake because this website sucks.
Yeah.
Like, look at this like HTML shit.
Yeah. Fuck
Sorry.
oh, that looks like the when the domain doesn't exist anymore, and it's
yeah.
It's okay. I typed in
DNS server error.
hardwood. I typed in Empire News first without typing empirenews.com, and I got a hardwood laminate flooring company.
Nice.
So
Gotta love hardwood. But now there was a guy that was spotted at Graceland a few times going in and out with the family, where it looks like Elvis with a gray beard. So that's a little weird. He's still alive. He runs a donut shop in Cleveland.
it'd be great if Elvis had the old monkey.
The monkey tail. Now here's Andy Kaufman, dead or alive.
I would say dead. All those. I think most people are dead. I don't think.
But did he
anybody's-
fake his own death?
I don't know. What about DB Cooper? You think that guy died, or did he?
I think he's dead now. Haven't
Well,
you
I'm
seen
sure he's
without
dead now.
a,
but
Dead
I'm
now, but you're
saying-
talking about like
Haven't you seen without a paddle?
Oh, dude,
But did
I
he
watched
make
that
it out? Did he
too
make it
many
to the
times,
ground?
Probably.
But did he make it to the
For real.
ground?
That's one of
alive?
those movies I watched way too many times.
I think he actually made it to the ground alive. I really do.
Some people, if anybody's young, are like DB Cooper. Is that a defensive back for the Eagles?
Matty, Jesus is definitely alive, and I think he works for me.
My
Thank you,
son,
Jesus, for the food.
De nada. That popped up on my news feed today in my memories.
dude, I was at McDonald's and I don't feel like sharing it.
No,
Whatever.
fuck that. Share it.
Well, it's partially true, and I made a joke about it, but so there's these kids hanging there, and the manager told him, he said, "Hey, don't forget this," and he pointed to a sign that said "No loitering," and he said, "Don't forget this," and he pointed at it, and he walked away, and I laughed because I was like, "There's no way these kids know what that means." So I asked him, I said, "Do you know what no loitering means?" And they go, "We don't understand Spanish."
No loitering.
That popped up on my memories today.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like people in New York and like the coast and whatnot, they make fun of the flyover states, but that's where a lot of our food used to come from. Now it seems like a lot's coming from China and
Mexico.
yeah, other. China can spray carbon monoxide on their exports, and they do it, and they're allowed to do it to their own people though.
Yeah.
Like they do it for the exports, and they claim by the time it gets over here and whatnot, it's okay for us. But
I actually try to buy local when I can.
Me too. I bought
Yeah.
some strawberries from Plant City
By
today.
the way, in other news, I would like to congratulate Whitney Houston today on 8 years sober. So good job, Whitney Houston.
Hey, that was on my history today in history list.
I know.
That she stopped using 8 years ago.
No, that today's the anniversary of her demise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She stopped using.
Today is also the Dick Cheney shot somebody in the face
Yeah.
in 2006.
Go Dick Cheney.
Can I tell you my other two things while
Sure.
I'm here? I have Nelson Mandela released from prison after 27 years in 1990. And in 1937, a 6-week strike against GE, which resulted in the Automobile Workers Union.
Nice.
Yeah, that was today. Today in history.
Nice.
Now GE's making bombs to bomb countries, and
GE makes
Here's
fucking
my-
everything.
part of my backyard.
Looks like cabbage.
It's lettuce,
Close enough.
kale, and
That's cute.
Fucking kale.
I grow my green onions.
Nice. I plant green onions on my lawn.
Really?
Yeah.
You can just buy them and then like replant them and they'll grow forever.
Yeah, I know. That's
That's
what I
what I
do.
do with
After I
pineapples.
cut them down with the little nubs,
Yeah,
I plant them
me too.
because I love the way it smells when I run it over with the lawnmower.
That's so cool. I didn't
Yeah.
think of that. I just go out there and clip them with scissors when I want them for my ramen or whatever.
I have that too.
I'm gonna make pad thai tomorrow and I'm gonna cut them down and put them in there.
have you ever smelled fresh grown basil?
Yeah, I have that too.
Dude, it smells so good. I said, why
That
why don't we have perfumes like that as opposed to like
I-
poison smell?
Okay, so I had a long time ago. I had a body spray made from parsley, and it smelled really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Italian women use basil and garlic.
I smell
We-
like garlic right
I
now.
used to grow cannabis when my girls were younger, and my wife didn't want to let them know what it was, so she told them it was basil. And one time we were at the Publix, and my daughter saw tomato basil pizza, and she said, "How are they allowed to sell that in here?" And I said,
Yes,
"Wouldn't it
they
suck
are.
if she like grows up and kids are ripping her off at school, like selling her dried basil?"
Selling her fucking
You
oregano.
know? Nah, man. I don't know. So, how's life? I know your life changed, right?
Yeah,
How is it? Do your listeners know?
some of them.
So that wasn't like
No.
okay.
That's all right. It's all good. So
Penis. That's what everybody's penis. That's yeah.
I am focusing on new projects and growing as a person.
Does that
That's
mean you're gonna
good.
get taller finally?
Yeah, because I'm gonna start
Fuck,
wearing
fuck.
platforms.
I'm trying.
What?
Start feeding
I'm
you
trying
Miracle
to
Grow.
make changes, man. Honestly, like I'm trying to be. Like I'm like inside, man. It's weird. Like I have like I said, like a cop's put his 9 in my face before, and my countenance didn't change.
9 inches.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
my insides, like I didn't change. I didn't get nervous. Like nothing. I don't know if it's because I'm literally dead inside or if it's just.
Could be.
But I think it's more not because I know I have emotions and whatnot, but like
You
that's
do?
yeah, that stuff doesn't affect me. But like I'll drive and just I lose my mind driving with people, and it doesn't do me any good to complain or say things and they don't hear me from inside the car. So I'm trying to like calm that down, be more peaceful around my
A
family.
little more zen.
Yeah, and I am in a way, you know what I'm saying, but I still can't help but like I don't know how people aren't bothered. Like about actual real things, not because this person that you don't know something bad happened to them 20 years ago in fucking
No.
Detroit.
People don't worry about real things. They worry about the vanity things. They worry about the things they can bellyache and cry about with no substance.
Dude, I told you, by the time I'm done doing comedy or die, I'll be able to do like an hour on McDonald's. So they have if you go to McDonald's on the receipts, it has a thing you can get a buy one, get one, either egg McMuffin or a quarter pounder, but a lot of them will do any sandwich. But you're
Okay.
supposed to go fill out a survey. I don't because it doesn't make a difference.
I
They-
do it at Burger King because I like Burger King.
So do you actually go fill out the survey?
Yeah, it takes like 2 minutes.
See, I don't anymore. I just write down numbers.
Like I don't care what the survey. I'll just be like excellent, excellent, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent, excellent.
That's why. So you say excellent. I could say horrible, and it's not going to change anything because that person's probably not going to be working there in 2 months anyways. That sucked. So I go in and it's a buy one, get one. Every single receipt has it on there, right on it. Buy one, get one. They have to know about it. You see it on every receipt. So this has happened multiple times. I'll order 2 Egg McMuffins and I'll hand them the thing, a buy one, get one. So they're supposed to promo one off. So you're only paying for one. I'll hand it to them and they'll tell me the price for 2 Egg McMuffins. And I'm like, so I finally asked the kid, and I've asked a lot of them, but I asked the kid the other day. I handed it to him. He tells me the full price. And I go, no. And I go, it's only 1 Egg McMuffin you should be charging me for. And he just looks at me. I go, why do you think I gave that to you? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
that's like when I always tell people up front when I have a coupon or something to use, I always tell them up front, like, hey, I'm going to use this coupon and I'd like to use it like this. And last time I went to Burger King to use my free sandwich. It's like you get the free sandwich if you buy a small fry and a small drink or something. And I was like, oh, I have this promotion for it. And she was like, what? What?
What's a promotion? Well, I was told that you're supposed to not tell them, especially like through the drive-through. You just hand it to them once they're done ringing it, and then they'll know to, like, you don't go, I gotta buy one, and that's what I was instructed. So that's what I do. But I finally asked the kid, I go, why do you think I handed that to you? And he goes, I don't know, I haven't got much sleep. And I said, man, I'm a really curious person. You know what I'm saying? I said, that wasn't a normal interaction you had with a customer. Your customers don't come in and hand you a piece of paper. Why do you think I handed that to you? And he goes, well, if you want to know the truth, he goes, depression and disassociation. If you want to go to psychology of it.
If you're going to jump to a backflip.
Yeah. He said, he's like, disassociation. I go, dude, you're at work. You need to associate with work. Like how? What?
I mean, I have as a customer service retail person, I have the same conversation over and over and over and over and over and over again. And
so if you had one that was so abnormal, wouldn't it stand out?
Okay. So one of the questions that I always have to ask people is if they're a member. Okay. Like when I go to make a transaction at my job, I have to ask them if they're a member with our company. And it's this like special program. You pay a little bit of extra money and you get discounts and coupons and stuff. And
so you pay extra money to get money off.
Okay. But I justify it by saying that if you spend more than $250 a year in the store, then it pays for itself. Whatever. It's a script. Okay. And, anyway, so sometimes people will jump the gun and they'll be like, I'm a member. And then I have to go through this number of processes before I get their member information. And then their discount can be applied. And sometimes they'll tell me I'm a member and I'll be like, okay, I'll do the entire transaction. And then I'll be like, are you a member? Just because it's like a habit to just say it. And they're like, I already told you. And I'm just like, oh, fine, sorry, whatever. But it's like, I'm literally saying the same thing to like 500 people, no exaggeration, a day. Okay, maybe 500 a week, but still either way.
So that's what's funny is, and the people that they'll go home and post that I was going and blah, blah, blah. And I told her at the beginning I was a member. And then she gets in and she's like, are you a member? It's like, I already told you. Like people will post stuff like that. That was the bothersome thing that happened to them. And oh my gosh, your life's horrible. You got asked a question 2 times.
I'm gonna read you. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Well, there was a person a local comic that she's a cashier and she accidentally, that was her word, she accidentally forgot to give the guy his discount on something.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. And I'm gonna read to you my response.
So he came back the next day and he wanted his discount applied, and she got bothered and was basically like, fucking customers, kind of like, this guy's coming back in and was wanting to get the discount that he was supposed to get. How about fucking dipshit customer service people that don't do their job correctly?
Okay, but I know that person and she does her job.
Well, she did in that case.
She made a mistake.
But that's what I'm saying, though. She was getting on the customer for coming back and wanting her mistake rectified, and she was putting the blame on the customer. He may have been an asshole. He probably was. But the way she put it, she was like, fucking customers. Well, if you did your job correctly, the customer would never been back there talking with you.
Okay. I know that we're not like super video game people, but I would like to read this to you as somebody. Okay.
How do you know?
Okay. What's the last game you played?
I know. We already talked about
exactly.
I played Wolfenstein before you guys got here.
Exactly.
3D too.
It says, working in customer service is like being an NPC in the world's most boring video game. You have set dialogue and actions that you repeat to every person who approaches you. Whenever you're alone, you just stand there waiting for somebody to interact with you. Sometimes random people you've never met will just walk up and start attacking you for no reason. Not even NPC is a non-playing character.
I already know that, and I don't play games.
Okay.
Well, you see, here's my thoughts: is that person? I disagree with that because you shouldn't just be standing there. You should actually be working, not standing there staring off
Okay,
into space.
But I'm saying, like, when you say the same thing 500 times,
But that's where you don't be a robot. You actually be a
try.
human
I try.
and truly interact. And so, like, when you're a host for different clubs, they give you a script. And most people, Roger, you probably know, don't most people like younger, they follow that script exactly.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't because I know how to host and I get the same information across. But you sound like a robot and you just keep saying the same. Yeah, it's just be a real person and not just do the robotic corporate script that they gave you. And I've worked in every business type of thing. So it ain't like you can go, oh, fuck, you know. Like, well, I've done that. I've been a cashier, but I didn't stay there. I worked at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? I've worked in an office. I've picked fruit. That's where I laugh when people talk about, oh, like the Mexicans are out. Dude, half the people there were white. Half the people that were picking fruit were white, just like me, and we're out there just trying to make money. Like,
Yeah.
and I was disappointed. I thought the Hispanic workers were going to be better, and they weren't. They were just as lazy. I'm dead serious, man. Like,
I've also done a lot of different random odd jobs, and I don't have a lot of sympathy for some people like that. But customers can be real jerks sometimes.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
well aware, but in that instance,
people can be
Yeah,
can be
just-
jerks.
Oh,
sometimes,
yes,
you know?
yes.
but in that instance, though, if she never made her mistake, the guy would have never been back there talking with her. And it's what I have to tell my children. They try to say different things, and I'm kind of like, do the Jedi Zen Buddha shit. Like, there's no try. It's either you did or didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's trying to justify, oh, I just made a mistake, but you didn't do your job correctly. So he's
You've
trying
never made
to
a
get-
mistake at work that resulted in a customer or a
Not-
client or
not-
somebody being unhappy?
Not really at work. That's probably why most jobs I like advanced there, and like I actually did a good job. I'm like anal to where I do my job above and beyond. Dude, I had to do volunteer work at the Salvation Army.
Mhm.
And I was trying to do a good job. Like, I'm actually cleaning and trying to do a good job. And the manager actually told me to not do that good of a job. And I said,
To
well,
make
man,
everybody else look bad.
well, I said, I'm kind of anal. He goes, don't be anal here. He goes, here we deal with quantity, not quality.
Yeah.
My son got in trouble. He's getting his nursing license, but he had some BS legal charges that they're gone. So now he's able to go get his nursing license. But in the meantime, he had to get a job. And he was working at Chick-fil-A, and they basically told him that he was too good of a worker and he needed to tone it down.
At Chick-fil-A?
At Chick-fil-A,
Wow.
because he's 22 and he works like 2 night shifts with the teenagers, and they feel almost assaulted by him because he's such a good worker and
don't like
does a
that.
good job. Dude,
I don't like that. If
he
you don't
got-
like your job, go get a different job.
he's this is what I've been trying to tell him. He's gotten in trouble. He's gotten written up because they told him, they go, we know you're a good worker and you're not saying anything mean to them, but it's how they perceive it. They
Yeah.
perceive it as an attack on them. So instead of telling them to fuck off and grow up, they're expecting my son to bow down and like
Yeah.
go along.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
And I said, Cameron, I said, there's only a few, it's my son's name. I said, there's only a few people that are going to be like you that come through there. I said, there's always going to be that dipshit. So unless there's one person like him that actually kind of stands up and goes, fuck you, you're going to get me in trouble because I'm wanting to do my job. No, fuck him. Get rid of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like dude, I was at McDonald's. You can go to McDonald's right now. There's nobody in there. And the beverage area will be a disaster.
Yeah.
Right now, there'll be not a single person in the restaurant, nobody in the drive-thru, and the restaurant's a fucking disaster because people are standing around waiting for a customer to come in.
I get really annoyed. So in my corporate job, I work with a really good team of people. They're not my team, but I have a good team of people, and we all do our jobs really well. We all work together. We all cooperate. We all pull our weight. When I go to other stores of the same company, I get so annoyed because I'm like, why is this like this? Why is that like this? Like, why is this messy? Why has nobody restocked this? And that's just me. That's just me.
That's just a good worker if you're. And I don't know. People are like, oh, there was a comedian on the East Coast. He was saying he actually believed this, that if you pay McDonald's workers $15 an hour, that will make them work harder and then they will move on to bigger and better things.
Do you believe that to be true, or do you think that they're just?
I
gonna
know
get
it's not
lazy?
true because
Completely false.
Okay.
why would you get money and now you're going to work? No, that's how you work. Like they're trying to get rid of internships because they're saying it's like paid slave labor. Dude, Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, was an intern with the Jets. People in Hollywood, big people, start out as interns, like, and you learn things and work your way up. They want to get rid of that. But
I kind of don't agree with internship, but I do agree with entry level position minimum wage because that is motivation.
Well, internships. I like internships. I like if the concept of the internship is they're not being taken advantage of.
A lot of companies sit there and they'll be like, "Oh, you'll be an intern for 4 years," and then come 5 years and be like, "I wouldn't really need you anymore."
True, and that's a shitty situation.
but
It's a
there and
shitty
again,
company.
though, if you were actually learning, you could take what you learned and use it somewhere else.
Now in the entertainment industry, in the film industry, in being an intern is a huge thing because you're learning the on-the-job tricks. You're making connections. Those jobs are all about networking because it's piecework.
I do not agree
Well,
with
here-
unpaid internships because I don't believe in working for free.
Well, here's where the benefit for that is. It gets you in the door. It gets your name known. Those jobs, when you work in the film industry, you don't have a permanent job. Once that project is done,
Yeah, everything is
That's
gig
it.
life. Everything is gig life.
yeah.
So
But to start at, there's more to learn on the job there than there is than you'll learn in a classroom.
So in dance, there's a lot of like pay. What do they call it? You do the job for exposure, but you don't get paid. It's the same concept.
Well, it's comedy, entertainment.
Yeah, but I don't agree
anyways.
with that either because there's people who are maybe they're new to the field, but they're good. But the people who are going to do it for free, who've been doing it for free for 5 years, are going to get those gigs because the employers or whoever the bookers don't want to pay the
Well-
new good person.
Well, what I'm talking about isn't on the performing end; it's in the production end.
But
Now,
then
the production,
Same
the
thing,
production
though.
end, even though you're in a union, whereas like the electricians union, you sit on the bench until they need company to come in. I need 5 electricians.
But what about the jobs that are like you need 5 years of experience, but then it doesn't count as experience if you're not paid?
Like what, for example? Like
I don't know. I can't think of just
okay.
jobs that are like, oh, you need,
yeah, well that
Well, what you're saying though is you can also blame the people that are taking the no pay to go dance.
I don't want that. I hate those people.
That's what I'm saying, though. Those
performing is
people
different.
suck.
Performing is different.
That's just like people complain about they shouldn't be paying workers $7.50 an hour, which they're really not anywhere. You can go make $11-12 starting out at McDonald's now.
Yeah.
That's what it
Mhm.
starts out most places. But you don't get more than 30 hours a week thanks to the Affordable Care saying that 30 hours is full time. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
So back in the day, 40 hours was full time. Well, the Affordable Care Act changed it to at 30 hours, you have to pay for their insurance. So they're considered full-time employees. So that's why people only work 29 hours. When they hit 30, it's a full-time employee thing. And that comes from the federal government. Yet people want them to help us. They're the
Yeah.
ones that cause the problems. Like, dude,
But but what I'm talking about, the interns on the production side, on the back end,
Mhm.
that is essentially their school. That's their school. That's them learning.
But what about the people who like pay to go to production colleges?
Those schools can only teach you so much until you're working on a set. They can't, you could sit in a class. I could sit in a classroom and I could teach you about something. And without any true practical application of that knowledge, it's almost wasted.
But like, okay, so I see what you're saying, but also at the same time, there's, if you go to a technical college, a lot of times it's hands-on training. So you are paying to be there, but but by paying to be there, you are understanding that you are receiving an education. If you're an intern, you're not paying and you're not getting paid. So
Usually-
you're wasting your time.
usually, though, those technical colleges, when they are done, they actually have something they can go into.
yeah, like they have like job placement programs and stuff.
Or just no, they actually learned a skill or a trade and they can use it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're dancing, there's more people that need their plumbing fixed than a dancer. Not putting down dancers,
No,
but
but-
you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're doing an internship for that stuff or for technical things, there's actually a light at the end of the tunnel and you can go into something. Like these people that go to schools, they get degrees in worthlessness and just debt.
Lesbian dance theory.
Yeah, or like just women's studies. I saw that this lady had a thing. I'm 60,000 in debt for women's studies. What can you do? Like a sociology degree. What can you do?
You can go work at Starbucks.
Somebody made a meme, and a dad was talking to his daughter, and she goes, "Hey, Dad, I decided to major in philosophy." And he said, "Oh, great! They just opened a big philosophy factory in Green Bay."
Yeah, but that's the thing. When an internship in the film industry is learning on the job. Learning on site, but you're not just learning one particular thing.
And did you continue on if you're a good? You can learn all
those behind the scenes jobs are 100% networking. They're networking. If if they don't know who you are, you're not going to get work because they don't know who the fuck you are. So you need to start networking as bottom of the totem pole as you can, and then work your way up. It's different than being an unpaid performer. Anybody who's performing should get fucking paid.
We all get ripped off, though.
Well,
look at even if you go to the Comedy Store in LA,
$15,
like $25 to
it's $15,
and they say that it's exposure, but it's not really.
Well, I mean, performing at the Comedy Store for $15 is a lot different than performing at whatever local bar.
I'm aware. And that's their open mic.
Can I say something? Okay, so there's a lot of performers who they'll perform at big festivals for very little money just to have something on their
credit
on there.
Yeah.
But why would me as an individual who needs to make a living, why would I perform at this event that's paying me $100 for 10 hours of my time, where I can go to Ybor and make $100 for 3 hours of my time?
What you have to look at is that festival enough of a credit to make it worthwhile?
But how many
for people to perform at the Comedy Store, to have the credit that you were on the main stage at the Comedy Store? That's a big selling point in front of bookers, front of bookers that are worth a shit.
Have you ever? How do I say this? Have you ever directly met somebody, or have you that gave you a booking because you met them at a show that you did for free?
I have.
So you got a paid gig from doing a free gig, not something on your resume, somebody in person.
Yes.
But that's
okay.
Yes.
Comedy is a little bit different, I think, in some ways, but then I don't know, dude, we get ripped off so bad. Like, so I know like what a musical act can get compared like a comedy show. Like if a musical act buys up multiple hours of time at a place compared to comedy, it's not even close. The musicians get like 5 times as much money practically.
Well, the reasoning for that, that you got to look at the business end of it.
Oh,
when was the last time at a bar show you saw a shitload of people to show up for a comedian?
Well,
at a bar show or at a comedy club?
We were talking
at a bar
about
show, not at a comedy. At a comedy club is going to be different.
So I did Michael Murillo's room, and I forget the name of the bar. It's in Largo, but 10 years, and I guess every week it's pretty much filled. But it took time to build that up.
But the people there are there specifically to see comedy.
Oh yeah, for
a lot of people that go out to see a band. See a comedy show versus a musical show. Comedy show, you have to be emotionally invested in. You have to shut your mouth and pay attention to what's going on stage. With a band, you can be sitting there bullshitting with your friend. The band's not going to say, hey, quiet down. I'm about to sing this song. They don't give a fuck. They're going to keep performing. But comedians, if the room is noisy and loud, they're going to tell you to shut the fuck up. That's the biggest difference, is because people who go to a bar where there's music, they're gonna enjoy the music. They're going to hear the music, but the music is background.
Mm-hmm.
All right, unless it's a concert and a band you're there specifically to see. Comedy doesn't work as background noise. We tried that at fucking O'Brien's, and that was a fucking Greco-Roman
with the
style
kickball people.
Yeah, that was a Greco-Roman style clusterfuck.
Dude, I remember the first time I walked in there. So Roger tried having just a mic at this place, do comedy at this place. And the first time I walk in, there's like 50-something people in there wearing different colored uniforms, and the place was packed. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so awesome. Then come to find out, they're all there. They just got done playing adult co-ed kickball, and they couldn't give a fuck less about us on stage at all. And
there was one night Rio performed, and he was fucking yelling at him, telling him to shut the fuck up.
Dude, I love Rio, but Rio's gotten a few rooms shut down because he thinks that
the next week I got a stern talking to from the fucking owner that you know, you comedians are yelling at these people that are in here paying money. And it was like at that point, that was like the very beginning of the very end.
He, believe it or not, Rio, seriously, he's gotten a couple comedy places where only a few of us comics would go because it was more musicians, poetry and stuff.
Yeah.
And got him shut down for comics because he flipped out. And I tried to tell him, and I knew from the beginning, dude, those people there that are at a hookah place, they don't owe us anything, nothing. And at a bar too, just because we're there for an open mic, they just got done with their work or they're in there with their friend drinking a beer. They don't owe us nothing.
I don't blame Rio for it. I don't blame him for us losing that room, but it just that room was just not working.
No, you would have never got it.
They didn't want to turn
going.
the TVs off.
Yeah.
The TVs had to stay on. So you're looking up at the stage and there's fucking TVs.
If it was a real show, it would be a perfect place to do. But
that setup was great, but they didn't want to do it. And they did nothing to help promote it.
Yeah, it's weird. I've never thought that the audience owes me anything other than at a place where they actually paid to watch comedy. Then you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
But if it's at a bar and stuff, that's on me to actually get you to listen. And there's certain ways that you learn to do that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Somebody recently was acting like he knew I'll get him to listen. And he went up there and he was just total background noise. It just made me kind of chuckle because he was bragging about being able to get him to listen. And
see, I mean, I found when I get up there, there's a couple things I can do to get them. I can get them. Keeping them is the hard part. I mean, I have a fucking pretty decent stage presence. I'll fucking pat my own ass for that because I'm a fucking big, ugly motherfucker and I'm loud as fuck.
Do you think it's our job as performers to also read the crowd? And if you think
absolutely,
if they're not like feeling it, then maybe go a different direction with your set, or even like cut your set short a little bit.
I did a show in New York at Broadway. It was a sold out show in the fucking main room. The headlining comedian was Orthodox Jewish. So the whole fucking audience.
What? A Jew in entertainment? What?
Crazy, right? You ready for this? Orthodox Jew lesbian. So she was shunned by the mainstream the main Orthodox community. But this room was full of Orthodox Jews. All the guys in there with their yarmulkes on and all the women dressed very conservatively. They loved the filthy shit. Like I'm sitting there like freaking out. I'm like, I don't have material that's clean enough for these religious people. And then I didn't go on first, thank God. You know, the first couple comedians we were getting, and they were getting good hits on the dirty stuff. So I went up there and just fucking hit them guns blazing dirty shit, and they fucking loved it. But if I had gone up there and and if I was the first comic up and I would have done the clean stuff, I would have tanked so fucking hard. So knowing the room and knowing the room's true vibe, but you have to play the audience. You have to find out what's working. You know, sometimes you got to ease them into the harder shit. But if you're not playing to the audience or reading the audience, you're not going to win them over, whether you're dancing or, you know, if you have, I mean, I don't know the best way to correlate it, but, you know, if you go out there and, you know, the crowd is, you know, looks more metal and you're dancing hip hop shit, you're not going to get them.
But it's not necessarily on me either because I don't always have control of the music.
Fucking problem,
yeah.
That's when you go and you kick the fucking DJ right in the vagina.
If you're dancing metal or hip hop, if you have a decent body, I don't think I'm gonna care.
Yeah, he's right.
Can you believe that she was doing square dancing with an ass like that?
Are you kidding me? I do that shit when I don't give a shit about what people are.
Whirl, twisting, whirl around.
I'll sit there and I'll start doing the
two-head couples forward and back. Promenade. Promenade. We had the I grew up in such middle of nowhere in Ohio. We had square dancing in phys ed. We did square dancing.
I'm from Florida and I
was
did
gonna
that.
say,
really?
Yeah.
I'm from New York, motherfucker.
So I guess
we
it was
had
just,
to.
So I guess that was president's physical fitness test, climb the rope,
yep,
square dance and everything.
The way my school did gym class. So if you were in a gym period.
Wait, let me interrupt you. You know, nowadays you can sign a waiver and they don't have to take gym.
Well, yeah, there's an alternative gym class. So when I was there, which they, the first day of class, you picked which gym class you were in, and they called them blocks. It was block 1, block 2, block 3. Block 1 was where all the jocks went. That kind of half and half, and then
nerds.
Block 3 was the girls that would go to the weight room where they just walk around the track, or, you know, really light stuff. And then block 2 was a little bit more competitive. Block 1, like we were playing fucking tackle football. It was like
In my school, we had blocks, but you had to not audition, but you had to like try out, and then they placed you.
okay, no, this you were able to select, but once you selected, you were stuck there. So if you should have been in block 3 and you picked block 1, you were fucked.
I got kind of
I mean, I was a
annoyed
jock, so
in
block 1.
early high school / late middle school. For some reason, they decided that instead of having regular physical fitness, like regular PE running around the tracks or whatever, they would send the girls to tie bow and they would send the boys to weightlifting.
Is Billy Banks there?
Billy Banks. was Billy Bang or Billy Blanks?
I can't
I think it was Billy
remember.
Blanks.
I think so too. After said it.
I really didn't want to take
But-
Taibo, so I opted for theater,
Nice.
which is somehow counted as a physical fitness credit
so
for me.
so you had the blocks, and like block 1 we'd play football, we'd play softball, hockey. Block 2 would play like basketball. But 2 things that they grouped everybody together for was volleyball and square dancing. And it was always cool because you were in block 1, so you were it was like mostly dudes and Barney Rubble looking chicks with bigger fucking muscles than us.
And then like
all the hot chicks were in block 3. So when it came time for square dancing, you'd find a cute girl in block 3 and pair up and do-si-do.
and then like a movie, one of the dorks would be a great square dancer, and you guys didn't realize
I
how
don't
cool
think
he was.
there's no such thing as a great square dancer. It just doesn't work. but the one good thing is because you're doing you grabbing around. Back in the day, we can grab the girl's ass and it was all right. You give her nice open hand pat on the ass.
I never was that way.
Right.
I'm not kidding, man. I've always wanted a woman to want me, even younger. Like, dude, I've had people I could have fucked and I didn't realize it at times. Like, because I was like, hey, I've never like.
Are you clueless to social cues?
No, I can't go.
Clueless and not giving a fuck, I think, are 2 different things.
Yeah, there's times I didn't. I don't know, man. Yeah, I gotta.
It's almost time for the wind down. We're at the see. This is the last time we were talking about this. The first time you were on, it was 3 hours.
3 hours and 25 minutes.
3 hours and 25 minutes. Dude, we're at 1 hour and 56 right now.
Well,
Time just flies with Patrick.
Well, I can imagine. Like, I've done shows and different things with people, and some people can't talk, and then other people can. Like, and I don't know how interesting it is, but at least it's actual talking and saying things. Like, I've listened to some people's stuff, and I'm just like,
Man, I'm not gonna name names, but we've had more than one guest that basically just sat here silent almost the whole fucking time.
Oh, I've perused your stuff at times. Like, dude, honestly,
and then there was Tiffany.
I want snacks.
Barbie.
No. This I forget what the fuck. What was her
Anna
last name?
Skew or
Baker.
whatever.
Baker. Tiffany Baker. The first night I met this
She
girl,
related to Kyle.
No. She wasn't a good looking chick. The first time I met her was I was still doing the mic over at Cayman Cove. And the first interaction, we would talk and she introduced herself. She got on the list. I go to bring her up on stage. She comes up and instead she doesn't shake my hand. She just looks at me and says, "Get the fuck off my stage."
Wow.
She then proceeded to walk every audience member, which there were like 4.
Ever since her, I always ask our guests. I usually ask our guests if they want anything.
Nice.
So
Yeah. So she came in here to do the podcast. She came in like an hour and a half early, was pissed off I wouldn't start the show early. We go live at a specific time. Our audience knows this. Sat here squeaking, making fucking noises and bitching I didn't have snacks the whole fucking time. And then I never saw her again. It was awesome.
do you remember that I tried to ask her something and then she said something along the lines of like, "You're not asking me questions," or whatever she said.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, she said
She was
something.
just a fucking train wreck.
She showed up and did.
I don't think that's the same chick.
Is that her?
No, that's not her.
No, you're friends with her.
Oh, yes.
All
I
right,
am, because I thought she was cute.
All right, yeah. First of all, you need to understand something about Nicole. All of her friends are fucking gorgeous. All right, all of them, except for me.
You are gorgeous inside.
Is that her?
Have you seen my
Yes,
insides?
that's her. In your
Yeah.
heart.
How have I not?
She was on the scene for a little while and then disappeared. I have no idea where the fuck she is.
She was an extra in Spider-Man. That's her like main claim to fame.
And she somehow blew her way onto Just for Laughs, Just for Laughs.
She was
She actually did one of the shows up there.
She did something up there.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a.
It's not who you know. It's who you
It's-
blow.
It's not like it was back in the day. like you could go there and walk away with deals and like big things.
Yeah, now you got to be invited.
They talk about this guy Chicken that ruined that. I forget what his act was, but he went up there and he really didn't have an act. He just had some chicken gimmick. I can't remember the exact thing, but he's the last one they said to get one of the big deals. They gave him like a network deal for a show and this and that, and he just was horrible and it didn't amount to anything. And they said he was like the last one to get a big from there. I would. What's the? Have you done any outside the? Have you done Canada at all? No. From New York,
No. Nope. Just within the states. I want to go to Australia. So, Maddie, you probably already left for work, but I want to come to Australia. So we got to figure out how to make this happen. That's before you come to America to live forever.
How do you know him? I've noticed he's listened at times to see.
I network, man. I build an audience. He is actually dating, online long distance dating a young lady whom I know. It's a long story.
This sounds a little bit sketchy to me.
It's a lot sketchy. Don't.
That's what.
The less you know, the better.
That's what Roger calls illegal activities, is building an audience.
You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man.
Oh, I'm aware. Are you kidding me?
No, it's it's a woman. A woman I had connected with, a couple years ago, and we have some mutual friends. And
how long have you been with your
wife?
Significant other?
Have I been with her? This will be 20 years.
Are you guys still like madly in love, or are you guys hating each other right now, or both?
No, we're absolutely crazily madly in love with each other.
Are you being honest?
No.
I'm genuinely asking.
We get along all right. We do all right. We're all right.
You should turn and look in the mirror.
We don't
Turn not the mirror so the camera can see your facial expression.
We're good. We're good.
It's like we get along great.
We get along great. We have zero in common. It's awesome. Opposites attract, apparently.
I don't want to go too
we
much.
We don't want to get into that.
Yeah, because we'll both get in trouble.
Probably. I love my wife. My wife's awesome.
I love my wife too, but I also hate her.
I love your wife too.
I'm dead serious. I can't fucking stand her at times, like so much. Like right now, we're at that. Dude, she was just in Puerto Rico for like 5 days and came back and was a bitch when she got back. Like,
did you give her the dick?
That was the whole point. We supposed to when she got back, and we haven't. And I'm gonna hold out.
Yeah.
I've only done that a few times. It's hard, man. Like, because my wife.
Yeah, because it gets hard.
Well, my wife's attractive too, so that.
Yeah, she is.
She is.
I agree. His wife's not.
But she is, like, for real. Like, she went to Puerto Rico with her sister who's getting married, and her sister's like 10 years younger. So all her sister's friends, they went down there. There was 12 of them total. So all her sister's friends are all younger. Some of them have mates and whatnot. But my wife, even after pushing out 6 kids, 4 for us, 2 times a surrogate, dude, she had just as good a body, if not better, than almost all them 20-year-olds. They posted a picture of all of them, their butts on the boat.
I'm gonna have to go creep on her Facebook.
Yeah. On the boat, and it said Instagram, and it showed all their asses in bikinis. And then it showed them all sleeping on the boat because they were out there all day snorkeling and stuff. And then it said reality. Like, yeah. So on Instagram, they're like, hey. But yeah, dude, I was shocked that I know she has a decent body, but some of these younger girls, I'm like, you would think you would look a little bit better because, dude, your metabolism doesn't slow down until like 30s, and then it gets worse. But I think 30 is like a nice milestone that I'm going to find you.
You find that we're gonna have to start the wind down now because we're now hitting the over 2 hour mark.
So do you have any new 20 questions for me since I already answered, or
no? It's the same shit, so we're not gonna do it again. While you're looking for that, Nicole,
yes,
what's your schedule?
I'm writing it down right now.
Okay,
so on Valentine's Day, which is this Friday, I'm going to be working at Marquee in downtown St. Pete, go-go dancing. On Saturday, the 15th, I will be go-go dancing at Gaspar's Grotto with Miss K2 Lemieux, as well as doing an Hora Loca.
Can you say her name again slowly so we know what you're saying exactly?
K2 Lemieux.
Like the letter K and then the number 2?
No.
She spells it out.
Spelled out.
But yes.
Like TOO?
TWO.
K2 Lemieux.
Oh, okay.
And it's a stage name.
She will be.
Oh, really? I thought it was.
And also doing an Hora Loca earlier in that evening. Location TBA. Find it on my Instagram, which is Nicole_Raven, Nicole with a K _Raven. Every Friday, belly dancing at Acropolis on Kennedy. And on the 22nd, we have a show at Bellagio. On the 23rd, a show at Woody's Tavern in Hollywood, which I will be hosting. And this just in, I will also be go-go dancing at Woody's Tavern on the 27th of March, and for Submission South Beach in Miami on March 28th.
Miami.
Yep.
Nice.
And none of these are free, right? No freebies.
Actually, the show in Hollywood is free.
The Woody's Tavern show is free.
Yes, and and Submission South Beach is not free.
So,
But if you'd like to see me go-go dancing in Miami, that is free.
so all those,
And actually, most of those things are free. All of the things that I said, except for the comedy show at Bellagio, are free on my part.
I was showing you the butts
cute.
to show.
Which one's your wife?
Well, look.
What do they have on their bums?
It's like a little poof,
Oh, okay.
little pom pom.
So, which one do you think's my wife out of these?
I've stalked your Instagram enough that I know which one.
Let her right there. I know your wife is blonde, right?
She's blondish brown. It's weird. Like she uses sun in some.
Okay.
Is this her? This one right there? That lady?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind then.
She's
I've
on
only
the
seen her
she's
from
on
the
the far
front.
right.
Oh, okay.
I told her, I was like, you got like the top 3 booty out of those 12, 20 something year olds, and she's 40. Like,
There you go. Good for her. You're a lucky man.
I don't know. I've been contemplating. Would I rather have like really ugly and beyond compatible, or
Well, you know.
or people act like, dude, I've had comics and I'm not really friendly with her. Like, I don't know how you're with this guy. Like they've said that in front of me to her, and I'm like,
Well, they're just trying to be fucking funny and
But-
failing
but-
miserably.
we're not. I could see if we were like really friendly and make a difference.
Yeah.
And then people have said stuff like, dude, she's way too hot for you. And I'm like, when I met her, she was actually kind of dorky to where I had to question going out with her. And they were like, and they've made fun of me. And I was like, dude, I lost my virginity to the homecoming queen. Like I dated prom queens, homecoming queens. And they were like, that's a long time ago. And I'm like, yeah, I met my wife right after high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So guess what? If I wasn't with her, I would be with attractive people. I wouldn't be with, not bragging, but
You're bragging a little bit.
that's
Little bit,
reality
little bit.
though. Like, but she looks better now after having all those kids than when I met her. Like she's actually smaller now than when I met her. Like,
All right.
as opposed to usually it's the opposite. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So Patrick, what's your schedule coming up? Where can the people see you?
dude, tomorrow, if you guys are morning people, I think I'm gonna start doing this again. Going on Bubba Army Radio. Remember I used to do it with Rob? I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I know another person doing it. So tomorrow and Thursday, I should be on Bubba Army Radio, which is on Twitch.
Okay.
So you can just do Twitch Bubba Army from 10 to 12 Wednesday, Thursday.
All right.
You can hear more rambling. And we get to take callers, so that, dude, it seriously adds such a nice
Yeah.
different aspect to have
We
somebody call in.
we had that set up. It's been a problem. Technology wise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just interfacing. I'm low budget as fuck, man.
So yeah, so if you go to Twitch, Bubba Army, I'm gonna start being on there from 10 to 12 in the mornings. When you go on the BubbaArmy.com.
There you go.
I'm already ostracized from the Tampa area, so I might as well make it
Yeah.
even more, because Cowda controls the comedy basically.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Well, he used to work with Bubba, and
Yeah.
the whole So by me being associated with Rob, who worked with Bubba, no longer, I'm not allowed to kind of work locally because I'm associated with Bubba.
Yeah.
And
The funniest was when I had Preston Lacey on the show.
Mhm.
You know, when we came down, he did the shows with us. One of Calta's producers reached out to me. They wanted to get Preston on the show. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll get on there. We'll, push our shows. Calta wanted nothing to do with helping us push the show. We get up there, and all he wanted to do was tell Preston how good of a fucking friend he was of Steve-O's. And the fucking best part of it was leaving there, Preston calling Steve-O and asking him about some of the shit that fucking got. And Steve was like, he's fucking full of shit.
really,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was fucking great.
dude, so Rob and I were doing this show, and we found out that Cowda was listening to us, or he was paying somebody to listen to us, because we said something, and then Cowda had one of the local comics ask about it on the Tampa Bay comedy group.
Huh.
And Rob and I were like, he's listening to us. So I went to tweet him and say, dude, I feel bad for you if you're listening to Rob Gargiulo. And even worse if you're paying somebody to do it. Dude, I go to tweet him. He has me blocked.
Really?
I've never interacted with him. I don't even tweet that much. I'm not involved with Bubba Army or any of that, anything. And he has me blocked on there. Like, I wanted to call in and ask him, but I know how it would be. They wouldn't even ever let me on air.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there's some, I won't say who, but a general manager of a club that used to be cool with me and was pretty much starting to let me in there. And now he acts like I don't even exist.
I'm sure I know which club it is.
And I've had comics tell me I can't work you because I don't want to get involved with the radio drama, that there's no radio drama because I'm not involved. So I'm going to go and get involved with the radio drama and start being back.
Just do your
on
own fucking thing.
Bubba.
Fuck it. This is Tampa. Fuck it. Just do your own thing.
Well, that's why
Do you.
I have stuff to do my own thing. It's weird, man. When I did the stuff with Rob, like a lot of people still want to hear my ramblings.
You guys were good together.
Like,
You guys were good together.
I thought we were because he's and I said we were, and he said too, we were like friends, so we could tell each other to fuck off, and it didn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I could tell you to fuck off, and you could tell me to fuck off. And I think with us playing sports, it wouldn't matter because we know it's not.
And we'll go fuck
personal.
off together.
But, like some people, they take you saying something to them, anything, as an attack.
Those are people who lack the ability to see the nuance.
But that's a large majority of the people
No
nowadays that it's hard to deal. Like,
George Carlin, think of how stupid the average person is. Now realize that half the population is stupider than that.
Hmm.
That's exactly it. So, how petty and fucking.
See, and I want to say it's not stupider, it's more stupid.
Shut the fuck up, right? It's part of the joke.
And I don't even know if
fucking grammar Nazi.
if that's true or not, but
Oh.
I don't know, man. It's
All right, so everybody check that out. It's Bubba Army. I think it's Bubba Army it's Twitch.com
if you just
Bubba Army.
Google just Twitch Bubba Army.
Whose show is it?
Colton's. I don't know who I don't even know what the show's called, but he does it 10 to 12. And
what's funny is I knew roughly where the Bubba studio was.
That's right by the airport.
I'd never been there before. I was in on that same street doing business, and as I'm driving past, I'm like, oh, that's where it is.
Yeah, it's a little tiny little right there. Yeah, he does his own, and he's actually getting back a little bit.
Yeah,
like he was down to nothing, like totally dead, and starting to. I'm trying to think.
I used to like Bubba
shows. I'm doing the Comedy Hall of Fame and Holiday. I think March.
Okay.
Does it even matter?
Nah, not really. Most of these people don't live in the area.
Yeah.
I just like to do this to make people feel good.
Well, I don't. Should I
I just had somebody text me that told me that they heard that I was performing. So
okay. Well, it
you
worked
go.
for you. Nobody's ever come to my show and said, I heard you talking about it on your show.
If anybody is interested, Friday, March 13th, the Comedy Hall of Fame. There's a show up in Holiday. I have no idea if anybody lives close to Holiday.
If you live up that area, go.
Have you done the Sunset Cruise?
Not yet.
I'm doing it March 6th. That's out of, is it Sarasota?
Fuck. Where the hell is it?
I think it's somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
There's
It's Bradenton.
There's a boat that goes out of, and they do shows, and
Dick keeps telling me, "Oh, I'll get you on the show. I'll get you on the show. I'll get you on whatever."
I finally reached out. Like, I'm gonna start like bugging people and doing more of the business, like legitimately just straight up bugging people, like because you have no idea unless you. Rob,
nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah, Rob made fun of me because I became really friendly with Brett Ernst, who's from LA, and he was in Florida, and I contacted him to do a spot at Off the Hook, and I sent him like a 3-paragraph text message, and Rob was making fun of me saying how long it was, and Brett went on air with him, and he was like, "Nah, that was fine." He's like, "It was the right amount and had the information I needed." Like, I love the people
you get the booking.
Yeah, I went down and did.
Good.
Oh, dude, he's so nice. I've done a couple shows with him down here in Florida when he comes in, and I end up talking to his mom more. She's like a 70-something-year-old Italian lady from Jersey. And
that's awesome,
dude. She is such a nice lady, man. Like,
that's awesome.
And I noticed that if you work with or get around people that actually work in comedy, they seem to be better than like the local
because they work.
Yeah,
they're adults and they're actually. Yeah, it's
because they understand the business end of show business. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's just weird interacting with people I normally never would, and not to be mean or what, you know what I'm saying? Like it's and it's weird to some people. It's like, dude, you've done nothing in life, and you're never going to do anything in life. Like
but they can headline that open mic like a motherfucker.
I've seen people. I told somebody he was going to headline a room, and they put him on the flyer as headlining, and he's barely a feature. And I was like, dude, if they put mine as headlining right now, I would tell them to take it off. Like, even if I'm the last guy on the show, I don't want to be, because I'm not headliner, and I actually respect the whole thing.
Yeah, the hierarchy.
Yeah, I don't want to step on any of that, and it's definitely an interesting world, man. If anybody's interested, you can just look me up, F Patrick Welsh on shit. Patrick Welsh was taken on Twitter.
So you did F Patrick
So
Welsh?
I went F Patrick Welsh.
I like that. That's good. I like
And then
that.
I thought, do you think F Scott Fitzgerald did that back in the day? They had like Morse code.
His real name was
and,
Scott Fitzgerald.
Scott Fitzgerald
He's like,
took
F
it.
Scott Fitzgerald.
And he's like F Scott Fitzgerald.
I like that. All right, for me, this Thursday, got the show at the VA hospital here in Tampa. Going to be performing for the hospitalized veterans. Then we got the Bellagio show on the 22nd, Hollywood on the 23rd.
Is that February 22nd?
Yes.
That's my birthday.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
It's George Washington's birthday and Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter,
crikey,
and the tallest guy ever to live,
Robert Wadlow.
Yeah, I said it's interesting. Like, I share birthdays with all these people that were like going places they probably weren't supposed to go.
Yeah,
like
it works. I share birthday with Queen Elizabeth II and Tony Danza.
I share birthday
Hey,
with
who's
Stephen
the
King and
boss?
Ricky Lake.
Nice,
Ricky Lake. Dude, I loved her when I was younger.
I'd still do her. I don't care.
She's probably, I would think, still looks good. I would think.
She looks all right.
I have not seen her.
Thick chick, but tight. I like
is she still around?
Yeah. Well, I don't think she's doing shows. She's doing
probably comedy now.
Yeah.
Touring the country as a headliner, just with she's
Why
like
not?
her and Dustin Diamond are doing shows together.
Yeah, why not? And what the fuck? The hooker that the
Divine Brown?
No, the porn star that Trump paid off. What the fuck was her name? Stormy Daniels.
Oh,
She's a fucking headliner.
it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, she's doing comedy shows.
Who there? Is she really?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Who? Dude, somebody else did that. There was a sex person that went and started. Isn't that crazy how they do that? And then they get
Well, it's because they have a following.
they
'Cause
have
people will come to a show. You don't have to be fucking funny. As long as you got an audience, you'll get booked.
No, have you ever seen like the Tuesday night YouTube star at the Improv show?
No.
I've been over there before and seen like a Wednesday night, Tuesday night. I haven't actually been to the show, but I've seen the room packed, and it'll be like a YouTube star. I don't know who they are, but they can fill 300 something people.
And that's all that
in a
fucking matters.
place.
Those people are there to see you. Whatever.
Oh, that is all that matters. I saw Rebecca Black was trending today.
Today?
The Friday Girl?
Yeah,
What
it
the
was
fuck's she
like
trending for.
she came out with a new song. It's Tuesday.
Oh my god.
It's not quite Monday. But
You're a jerk.
I don't even know what.
Friday almost ruined Rebecca Black's life. 9 years later, she's addressing the toll it took.
Ruined it how? By giving
Why-
her a pop song that made
It's
her millions?
Friday.
See, what-
Friday.
here's
It
the
showed
thing-
her dad loved her a little bit too much.
Here's the thing that annoyed me about that fucking song. When she's talking about, kicking in the front seat or sitting in the back seat, we got to make my mind up which seat should I take? You're fucking 13. You sit in the fucking back. Get the fuck back there. You're too small to be sitting in the front. You need to be in a booster seat. Get the fuck back there.
See, this is when you're with somebody for a long time. My wife and I got in an argument about that because she didn't know the Rebecca Black Friday song, and I'm like, "The fuck do you
It's
not?"
Friday,
Yeah, and I started saying
Friday,
it, and
gotta
she was
get
like,
down on Friday.
and I go, I guarantee you, if you ask most of your coworkers, they will know that song. And she's just, there's some things which I love it, she's oblivious to, but then there's some things it's like, how do you not know that? Like, like if you're on the internet, how do you not know that? Because people have made fun of that.
My wife's saying, well, my wife's older than me. My wife's 9 years older. So like pop culture, shit like that, she got no clue. A couple weeks ago, somebody asked her what, she's like, oh, what are you and the kids going to do tonight? Oh, I think we're just Netflix and chill. She had no fucking idea what that meant. My fucking 14-year-old son had to explain to her what Netflix and chill
Please
is.
tell me you share that on stage. You have to.
I put it on fucking Facebook.
You got to
Yeah.
do that on stage.
I probably
She
should,
wants to
yeah.
Netflix and chill
Yeah.
with your kids.
Yeah, I kind of rip on her enough on
And
stage.
you're like,
I
well,
rip on her a lot. Like half my fucking act is ripping on my wife.
I thought you didn't. You're from West Virginia, but
No.
that's funny. I know how the people don't know. My daughter, my 12-year-old, there's a kid at her school, and his name's Roman, and he plays football, and he's number 69.
That was
And
my
he's-
number.
He's fat, so they make fun of him, and they say, Roman numeral 69. And my 12-year-old thinks that they make fun of him because he's fat. And she said, because I know there's nothing wrong with his number and funny about it. She had no idea. And my wife laughed, and my 14-year-old daughter laughed. And then I was happy the 12-year-old really didn't know, but then the way my 14-year-old laughed, it made me kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, my jersey number was 69. I played when my kids were,
I know. I think that's
my kids saw me
awesome
play.
that you-
and my everything I do revolves around the number 69. Like what temperature is my thermostat in my house set to? 69. When set the volume on the TV, I set it to 69. Like everything is 69.
Every grade I ever got, 69.
Pretty much.
Right in that CD.
Except my fucking my grade point average. That was like a 1 point something.
Was it really?
Nah, yeah, it was fucking low. And it wasn't because I was dumb, because I scored well on I got kicked ass on my SATs. I just didn't do homework and shit. I wouldn't turn in projects. So I fucking just barely passed.
Unless you're really using it. When's the last time you used a squared plus b squared equals c squared?
Actually, a couple weeks ago, to be honest with you. No, I'm just kidding. I have not used the Pythagorean theorem in a long time.
At least you know what it is.
Yeah, I do.
My daughter almost has the pi memorized. She can go.
My son could like 3.1415.
So we were at Salvation Army the other day, and I actually found a pi, like a pi, like
a pie tray, with
like
pie.
a thick, and
It's got pie around it.
It has pi all around it, yeah, and it has the pi symbol in the middle of it. And yeah, I got it for her, and she didn't realize what it was at first. She was like, "Oh, that's nice." Then, yeah, I try to give, like, our son, he got into Rubik's cubes.
Okay.
He actually learned the algorithm, because that's all it is if you know the algorithm.
Yeah, you got
Then you can
span it out.
And he could do it so fast, and his friends all learned it to where they could change a couple of the stickers and like throw off their friends, so their friends would like
oh, that's fucked up.
know the algorithm, but
That's
they couldn't
fucked up.
figure it out, and they're like, yeah, those were the people that weren't in your gym class.
No,
Weren't there any jocks that were like, I want to join the other gym class so I can beat up on everybody?
No,
Like-
we were pretty fair to people.
Or were there any dorks that were like, I think I'm a jock, but I'm really not?
So that's my son. One year I was coaching him, and wearing the number 69. I had to fucking argue with the fucking team because they didn't want to let him wear 69.
Was he really having a 69 with the other player? I mean,
Possibly. He won a trophy. He won a trophy for it.
for 69 or
Yeah, the 69.
best best form? Oh, 60. Who? Like, I wonder how far does that come from? Like, we were talking about the likes with the thumbs. Do you know that it was actually opposite of what we think nowadays?
What do you mean? This was good?
So people think like it was for basically he dies or he lives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So people thought that a thumbs down nowadays, that means bad, like he dies, but that actually meant he lived back in the day. Thumbs up was he actually died. And I guess it symbolized the sword going up into. And if you think about it, the crowds were out for blood back in the days.
Oh yeah.
So the thumbs up, that would have been more fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, kill him. Like, they wanted to see him die. So
Yeah.
that was a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just funny how we use things incorrectly. Like,
That's a whole lot of that.
Oh, all
All right.
over. Yeah, you gotta
We
go.
got to wrap this up. So I got my schedule there. So check that out. Twitch. I think it's twitch.tv/.
I just say
Bubba Army.
Google
Yeah, just fucking Google it.
Twitch, Bubba Army, and I should be on there multiple times a week from 10 to 12.
Awesome.
Hopefully.
So check that out. Otherwise, that's it. Don't forget to spay or neuter your children. Nicole.
Fubar out.